How you doing, fellas? Shibida-bip-de-doo. Oh, my Lord and Taylor. We got some fun coming up. I like to check in on Spoon, making sure he hasn't died of alcohol poisoning, making sure the man's still alive. His channel's going through it. He's not really uploading content like he used to. I really want to help him kind of get back on the horse, I want him to do well. I want him to make content. So I'm going to try and help him out this stream. Before we get to that, as the bodies are rolling in, fellas, this event, I was just talking to Fist about this. Oh, we're going to have quite a stream on Ardy and Fist on Tuesday. This event, this is what happened at the event, okay? This is not AI.
First. So I'm diapers first and America first.
It was the worst event. I covered Vosh live streaming with Progressive Victory on my channel. This is way worse. I can't give away too much. It's way worse, and it's such a shame because Joel Webben was there. Calvin Robinson was there. I like both of those gentlemen. Oh, but it's very glowy. It's a very glowy event. For example, we have Brown Democrat speaking on how the West must atone for the past, including colonialism, Congo, and the Holly. This is who they have speaking there.
Here, so excuse me for being late. It's good to see a lot of faces in the...
You're going to notice something. I want you to notice something here as to how bad this event went, okay? It went really bad. Notice how the place is not lining up.
Crowd, and I heard that the live stream got hacked. That sucks, but hope we'll be back up soon, and it's good to see some of my friends in the audience as well. Rex, Tim, good seeing you guys.
It was a 9-hour stream. A 9-hour stream. And the audio is off for the entire thing. Vrillium introduces Casey Putsch, and I can't even enjoy the Vrillium cringe.
Doing what Americans should be doing. But we're here because America is not functioning the way it should be. Fred Trump each time, and I spoke out.
Because the audio is off the entire time. There is really no positive coverage of this America First United event. Now, also the criticism. Everything about it's wrong. America First is Nick Fuentes. Aha, but they're America First United. Nobody noticed that at all. People wearing America First hats there. It is glowing off the charts, fellas. Which is weird because Vrillium has been pushing this rhetoric of we have to work with the Democrats. Let's make it bipartisan. You can't work with the Democrats. That's why I like Andrew Wilson. He's like, no. We can't work with the left at all. They can't be trusted whatsoever. So they have someone speaking there who had a doxing ICE shop up for one to be able to dox ICE agents. Oh, and then we got some Fuentes hyping Fishback, which is fine, but he said he didn't hype Casey Putsch because he has no motion.
What are your thoughts on Casey Putsch?
I don't think he can win. He seems like an okay guy or whatever, but I'm not in love with everything he's been up to. And I just doesn't look like he has a real chance. I don't even think he's filed to run as a Republican. So what do we?
Doesn't really have a chance. So the criticism is, so instead of using your immense platform to rally support for the white American candidate, you counter-signal him. Interesting. And then, of course, he backs James Fishback, who is not looking like he's in a position to win. It's really looking rough for the dissident right. Okay? Before we go a little further, this might be a good idea for a stream. So I posted how the race realists, where are the race realist debaters? I like reviewing debates, talking about them, having chat scream at me. These are things I enjoy, okay? And so, mind you, JQ over here, that's a pro-white fella, like whites only fella, okay? He stuck around after the backlash. We talk in back channels. I've had some good conversations with him. Respectable, whites only position. And so it might be a good idea if you guys could give me some like really good debates on race realism where you think the person did a good job. I think that would be really good to watch. Like this, for example. Now, I'm going to front load this. Joel Webbin posted, it's not about skin color, it's about distinct peoples, in which he shows people with obviously black features that have white skin. It's not about skin color, it's about distinct peoples. Terrific. What about a black woman with white features? Still black? This is the contradiction. This is the crux of my argument in terms of what is determined as white. I'll get pushed back by saying, oh, you're trying to like determine what's right. It's what it is. Okay. So these are black and she's black, even though she has white features. Okay. There's a level of perception in there. That's not why I brought you here today. Brought you here today for Aristocratic Utensil. He hasn't done anything out of the ordinary. What he's done out of the ordinary is release content, because that is a slow drip nowadays, fellas. I really enjoy how, for years now, he hates it when people think he's English, when he sounds English, and it's a picture of a guy with a monocle. It just screams James Lindsay to me. How James Lindsay is like, I don't know why you think I'm an atheist. I've said I'm not an atheist. Sorry for thinking you're English. When you sound English and your cartoon avatar is a guy with a monocle, okay? I'm not English. I'm not, oh my God, this person thinks I'm, yes! How do you not understand why people think you're English? It's the I don't know why people are criticizing me vibe. And fellas in chat understand this, who are fans or have been fans of Aristocratic Utensil. When you give him any sort of pushback, he doesn't really have any good responses. As we will be covering. For example, he posted, the comments can cope and seethe all they want, but Vivek is ultimately correct. So he knows this is going to annoy people, so I would hope he has a good argument. The American Constitution is the embodiment of civic nationalism. Immediately the pushback is, no, that's what it turned into. Originally, it was for white people. Now, you can say it wasn't supposed to be, but a system is what it does. Now, he's South African. He's lived in the UK. One would look at those countries and go, it doesn't matter what the prescription of the country is, because a system is what it does. Let's see. Let's see how that comes around back to him. Obviously, your first thought is South Africa and the UK as counterexamples. Let's see how he handles that. We have Devin Erickson, guy who thinks the Constitution was written in 1775. Spoon says ratified in 1788. Oh, so you just Googled it right now. Okay. There were the Articles of Confederation, John Hanson. See, random facts. I know what I'm talking about. But you don't sound like you know what you're talking about because you're making a terrible argument up front, which you must know there's going to be pushback against. So Tony Baloney over here says, no, it isn't. The founding fathers literally made naturalization impossible for non-whites, you moo. And Spoon says, how did that turn out, you stupid ass motherfucker? Okay, so, but like, it wasn't built upon civic nationalism. Surely you understand the issue. Someone says, so now you're admitting it was subverted. So what's your argument, you dumb fuck? He goes, you just stated it, you stupid asshole. That was the argument. Try and keep up. This is why people don't like Spoon. It's funny to hear him talk down to people, right? But then when he's talking down to you, you're like, bro, who is even on your team? Like, what argument are you even making? You just stated it, that it was subverted. Okay, so if it was subverted, then that wasn't what it was supposed to be. See how we're going in circles? And that's all you get. Now, what's going to be fun about today's stream is since Spoon doesn't really go back and forth in the comments, you should be excited to know he makes videos about the comments where he can take multiple showers, think about what he's going to say, and then respond. So I'd like to hear his response to comments. And I really think to make an entire, I just did this with the Lauren Southern video, where your entire video is about what random people say. I'll make an edited video. I'll include some things. I'll look at what people say like in a live stream, but to make your edited video about what random people on the internet say to you is just bizarre to me. It very much, this is why I made a stream calling him the right-wing James Lindsay, okay? He makes a stupid argument, people respond, and he's like, haha, you just don't get it. And that's it. That's all you get. I'll spurg out in the comments. You've seen it. I brought people up to speak. So let me get something out of the way first. Somehow I'm going to show another video with Aiden Paladin and Newsfist. Somehow. He recently went on. Newsfist is on fire right now. Let me clear something up for Aiden Paladin. Maybe one of you can show this to her. I'm not going to privately message her, okay? I make these videos about Spoon. I'm not gonna contact her personally. But maybe one of you can run this along to her.
Chabad. And Chabad are incredibly influential. Like, don't let anyone tell, like, they are very, very influential and very, very.
If you'd like to watch some videos on this, I know if you'd like to watch some videos on this, go check out Verillium.
So go check out Verillium. I understand why people would tell you to go check out Verillium, and you understand why I wouldn't necessarily recommend that you go and check out Verillium. Again, past streams that I've done.
Oh, Verillium's channel has got tons of videos on Chabad. And
Ardy had some beef with Verillium.
Oh, whatever.
Fist, I had some beef with him. Please, I exposed the man.
Look, no offense to your friend Ardy, he doesn't like me either. But he also doesn't. I'm not.
That is not true. That's not true.
He hates me. He hates me in Spoon. What are you talking about?
No. He just doesn't like Spoon.
Oh, okay. I thought he hated me too.
He thinks you're lovely.
Oh, I thought he hated me.
No.
So, Aiden, here's what I want you to understand, okay? If I were Spoon, just like how he's like, I'm not English. Ugh! If I were Spoon, I would go, how does Aiden not know that I'm fine with her? Excuse me. So I've said on stream that not only am I fine with Aiden, I literally directed people to her new channel.
It's not on it yet, but it's Science Sybil, SIDYL. I'm going to release in the next week 2 videos on the same day. One will be a video that we posted to this channel. I'm going to give you guys a link. Please subscribe. And on next Wednesday, I'll also...
Thank you. Didn't you defend Aiden in your last stream about Spoon? I've supported Aiden. Now, the criticism is that she's surrounded by, in my opinion, rather weak men. And as we know about Aiden, she's very soft, non-confrontational. I felt as though Spoon took advantage of that. Fellas, please subscribe to Science Sybil. Science spelled science. Sybil spelled Sibyl. Aiden does very in-depth videos, right? Very well researched. Now, Aiden, if I was Spoon, I would go, how do you not know? I said it, and everybody should know what I've said. I understand that you haven't seen this, okay? That's my issue with Spoon. I have supported you and drove people to your new channel. Now that that is cleared up. Spoony baby. I love his posts on YouTube. Ah! So let's go from a month ago, where we last left off. Could be a continuation. So he gets a good amount of shit for vague posting and having a very effeminate, woman-like behavior about himself, okay? Ooh, actually, wait a minute. My bad. I think I moved too quick. It's going to be in here somewhere. I hope I can find it. So obviously, South Africa comes up. And here it is. So logically, the UK is supposed to be Muslim, but because a system is what it does. And this is what he always does. When he criticizes America, this is what he always does when someone goes, well, dude, I mean, South African, UK. He goes, can you retards ever take criticism like men without deflecting like women? It actively pisses me off how pathetically fragile and weak you are. So you can never hold him to a double standard. If he punches you first, and then you punch him back, and you go, you punch me first, and he goes, haha, you're deflecting. I'm talking about how I'm punching you. That's what you get. You can never bring up the double standard because he acts like you're pivoting, which you are, from his retarded opinion. So I love how he's a monarch, okay? It's all about monarchy. Your YouTube channel is a monarchy. You run it. It's up to you. You have to be decisive. You have to be a good decision maker. I don't think he's a monarchist. I just think he wants like a daddy to rule over him and tell him what to do, essentially. Because he doesn't know what to do. I want to see if I can squeeze in a live stream tonight. Oh, is he leaving it up to votes as to whether or not what he's going to do? This feels kind of democratic. If I can get, let's say, 400 likes on this, then I'll put on a Rumble stream. First of all, why on God's fat earth he has no streams on his channel with almost 58,000 subscribers? He streams. He's been streaming for 4 years. He streams on YouTube with Broken Crown. Why don't you? What a horrific monarch. He's the case against monarchy. A monarch like you, absolutely not. Stream on your YouTube channel, you moron. Why would you not do that? Do you know what I would do? Streaming on a channel with 57,000 subs? You idiot. Make it make sense. So anyways. However, he got a bellyache. Then his X account got suspended, which gave him a tummy ache. Strong monarch. One bad thing happens. Throw it out the window. Screw it. No live stream tonight or any content for a while. One would say you're posting like an effeminate pussy, which we're going to get to in his newest video. He leaks his DMs with Jake Rattlesnake, calling him a fucking woman. He does everything wrong, very much like James Lindsay. So then his X account is back up. Now he feels good again. Then he goes and does the stream. We'll cover his Rumble in just a little bit. And he posts I know it's been a while since I made a video for no reason other than I think it's just stupid and funny. Should probably change that. Isn't that hilarious? He's got him. He's so edgy. Dude, I'm just like not releasing content because I just kind of like think it's funny. Probably should release content. Probably be a good idea. And here it is again. The Monarch. I'd like to ask the audience, is there anything you chaps want to see specifically at the moment? You are the monarch of the channel. You decide the content. You decide. Very democratically run channel. And then here it is. Like he's just thinking out loud. Just make a video. There's been so much stupid BS lately on a damn near daily basis. I can't keep up. Okay. Alcoholic haze, potentially. I've been wanting to make a video on current events. But every 24 hours, something insane happens. This is it. He's doing this instead of releasing content. Quite the monarch indeed. Blue Lick, $2, thank you. I need the song of the last stream's intro. I know you do. At 100 episodes, I'm going to release all of the ones that I've made. I have to go through the trouble of doing it. And then if I keep, then it's more work that I have to do. Okay. It is on the back burner. I'll make it special for you fellas. Miss D, how did a clam get in here? $8. Thank you very much. 8 of something. Woman tax. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Very much appreciated. Not bad for a clam. Leningrad, $5. That feeling when the Elite Theory guys don't have elitists backing them? I know. I know. Oh, it's going to be... We have a spicy week of content, fellas. You deserve what you tolerate. $5. Thank you. Voting for Putsch, despite knowing voting is meaningless at this point. Just right, okay? Right. But it's working within the system that we don't agree with. But you do so our enemies do accelerationism alongside incrementalism, okay? We haven't been allowed to talk about this. Let me bring it to speed. We can do both. We can get really incendiary accelerationist rhetoric from Nick Fuentes, but I like with Andrew Wilson, you cannot trust the left in any capacity. Yeah, but the right are Ziocucks. Well, then what do we do? Never a good answer. The least we can do is just vote for the right. Now, of course, that comes from Andrew Wilson, who has children and wants a future in this country. So I understand why that's his position. And so pragmatically, you don't lose anything by doing that. Don't, get Democrats elected because of your principles. Essentially is the argument. Doomsday Machine, remember 5 months? Thank you, bruv. These bitches want Nikes, $5. Tim Heidecker's career must be ended at once. He's going to do that himself. Actually, what would be really fun, have you seen Tim Heidecker's conversation with Nick Fuentes? I've been saving that one. That's actually a good idea. I'll have to bring that up at some point. That's a fun one. That's from like 2017. Ooh, that one hits the spot, fellas. Buford for 20. Thank you so much, my dude. I really appreciate it. That fake Boer doesn't know what he's done. Now the miscegenator is on the case. I understand my race mixing position, okay? It's pro-white first. It's not the end of the world. It's even when you talk to a lot of pro-white people, they understand that there's going to be an amount of race mixing, okay? There's going to be an amount of it. Now, most breeding is intraracial. Most breeding already happens within the race, okay? What I'm saying is there is a portion of mixed race people that are moo critical, hate the N-words, don't like the Jeets. Why would I say go fuck yourself because you're not white? It doesn't make any sense. It's not like I have a private member organization where I'm putting a gun to your head and making them eat at your dinner table. Okay? That's a coalitional mindset. No one gets hurt from that. I don't want, because there's already people that pose as white people on the internet because of like, oh, you're not white enough and shit like that. Be who you are. Hate who you hate. Okay? All hate is welcome here. Some randomness poo for $20, mate. Thank you so much. Very much appreciated. I don't have time to watch a stream. I'd like to know what you think of the quote I invented. America is ultimately a bunch of English Brits pretending to be Romans. That's not an insult. That's what makes us so damn powerful. I mean, I can't answer that quickly. What we do have are people that are unifying Americans that are aligning with a Eurocentric identity, which this is why in the next couple of weeks, I'm going to do a solo stream with Fist. It's not going to be an Ardy and Fist, but we're going to cover Joel Webbon talking to Calvin Robinson. The way that Europeans view race and the way that Americans view race is different. And I know that it pisses off some pro-whites when I talk about the way that we view race because they're biological determinists. But race is objectively viewed differently in Europe as it is in the United States. And it's a really good conversation that I need Fist here for to bridge the religion and race gap. Yeah, thank you. Some randomness poo, $5. My other quote is, in America, every man is his own king and his gun is Excalibur. Very nice. Well, unfortunately not. The gun only does so much for you when you have institutions, mooish and leftist institutions that make it so you're not allowed to defend yourself. In spirit, I understand what you're saying. Potentially criminal, $5. First time seeing you. This is some good shit. Well, thank you. You're in for quite the ride. Always fun to see a newbie. Some randomness poo, $2. Also not on good terms with Belgium. Fair enough. A rat named Mouse, $5. I just finished playing Heartopia with my kid niece. It's incredibly gay. Still not as gay as Spoon. I wouldn't say he's gay. I would say he's powerfully effeminate. I want to help him. I want to help him with his channel. I am destroying his numbers, but why doesn't he ask him that? I want you guys that are still in his community to ask him why he doesn't stream on his YouTube channel. What answer would there be? Anyway, I love it. Curious about this because this has been asked of me before. Should I make a second channel? The other one for more entertainment, sloppy kind of content? Does he think he's like that politically minded? And another Democratic vote. I love it. He relies on democracy for his channel. I run my channel more like a monarchy than he does. But what is he talking about? Maybe if he was like pushing out a bunch of content, but what, he's released like 7 videos in 2 months? None of those are live streams on here? What do you mean a second channel? You would have to be releasing so much content on your channel. Mind you, one of his recent videos is a quick update. Yes, I'm still alive somewhat. One of the videos is how he's not even releasing content. Yeah, second channel. What if they democratically elect you to do a second channel? You shouldn't do that. You are the monarch. You are the decider. I love it. I love it. It just reminds me of Hassan Piker. He's like, I'm a communist. Run it like a communist then. No. I'm a monarchist. Run it like a monarchist then. No. Me over here, I don't even know what I am at this point. Going through my second political puberty over here. Sorry if my voice is changing. But I think I run pretty decisively, right? I'll try and gain feedback here and there. I'm not like vote. So what do we do? So what do we do about this problem that I have, community? I have advisors. Isn't that what a monarch is supposed to do? Anyways. I feel like this is interesting. What to expect from a South African monarchist? When is this from? December 17th, 2024. This is going to set us up for what to expect from his channel, seeing where it is now.
Oh. Thought it'd be a good idea to do an intro for this channel, which is definitely not overdue, more than halfway towards the century mark and almost a...
Just real quick, Master Shake, are you an ortho bro? I don't know who and who isn't an ortho bro anymore. I do run very parallel to the orthos. I really have to... I need to be shamed into going to liturgy is really what it comes down to. That's really all it is. It's just anxiety, insecurity about going to a church as an atheist for so long.
1,000 videos in. If only to let the new people know what they're in for around here. Apparently, it's still stunning that someone with a name as pretentious as mine, who ends his videos with the stolen catchphrase, "I apologize for..."
Can you believe people might think he's English with the monocle and the fucking English accent? The indignance.
For nothing, might espouse a controversial opinion every once in a while. Shocker, I know.
See, I like this. Fellas, for all the fellas that want me to go to liturgy and convert to Orthodoxy, okay? You have to understand, I am a conduit that helps bring people to the doorstep of the church, okay? Me as a non-believer have encouraged somehow people to go to liturgy. They say it all the time. We have Master Shake saying, yes and no, it's complicated. Excellent. I'm real good with the in-betweeners, and the in-betweeners get to still hang out here in a very pro-Orthodox environment without having maybe your Andrew Wilson crowd always shoving you and pushing you to do it. I'm really exploring my pushback and resistance with God and going to liturgy. And if and when I conquer that, it will make me very valuable. Right now I can work in service of Christ. Once I'm a soldier of Christ, I will have a deep knowledge of all of my pushback and reservations, and then I can finally be a Christ salesman.
Suppose an introduction is appropriate. I am the Aristocratic Utensil, and our goal around here is to dissect the madness of the 21st century West, and more importantly, laugh at damn near everything, otherwise we too would go completely insane. You may otherwise know me as Spoon or Izzy, or my childhood nickname, Fidel Castro. If you're wondering why on earth I was nicknamed after a communist dictator as a kid, I have no friggin' idea. Didn't have a beard, as far as I can remember, nor did I smoke a cigar, or wear military green, or supported communism. I still don't. I'm more of an appreciator of Augusto Pinochet, frankly, but a Spoon law for all of you. Now, some of you might not be aware, I am South African, but most importantly, I am a monarchist. The condition of the former might be an explanation for why the latter, because democracy is an unworkable pile of rotting arse.
I just find it incredible to say that you're South African, talk so much shit about America, and then whenever somebody goes, well, what about South Africa? He goes, you're pivoting like a female. He never has to account for South Africa, ever! And that resentment builds, Spoon.
I don't like democracy. I think democracy is gay and cringe. Democracy is cringe and gay.
Well said, oh wise Scottish man.
As, of course, he runs his channel as a democracy, asking for people's opinions on a vote. Instead of being the monarchist that knows what needs to be done for the health of the channel.
Now, one of the best things about telling people you're a monarchist, no one thinks you're normal. In fact, many people think you're quite bad.
Okay, so what, is this like goth emo phase? This is to be different, okay?
Which is fantastic. As a consequence, I don't have to bother coloring in between the imaginary lines to define the Overton window, which doesn't...
No, you never have to defend anything. I've pushed myself into the right wing, and then I will try to defend certain people. Like you, it's a cowardly position. Like being an atheist, it's a cowardly position. I never really have to defend anything. It's why I initially was like, oh, I'm going in definitely. I'm definitely leaning into the atheism. Easily. I never have to spend, it's a cowardly position. Me having the atheist, liberal, civic, nationalist position, first engaging with this channel, is definitely a cowardly position. But I never go back on what I say because I have a cowardly position. But I can admit that. But he's a monarchist, so he's always like, yeah, they're both, he's an independent. He's a centrist, essentially.
Exist, although that's a topic for another day. I have no allegiance to any group, guild, party, or faction, and as such, I'm at liberty to speak my mind on any variety.
Now, this is technically true. It's a YouTube channel, not a country. Right, but you can run it as a simulacrum. it technically is a voluntary monarchy. And people can go and live. If it was a country, people just go to a different country. They spend time in different countries. And then they come to your country because they like your country the most, which is what a good monarch would do. So it's more so game theory is how one could think of it, especially when you know that your monarchy is never going to fucking exist. So why not set up some sort of parallel structure that can mimic that, would be my opinion.
Of issues, which also amusingly exponentially increases my chances of pissing off anyone. So if you're of a sensitive nature, predisposed to banshee-like shrieking the moment someone levels you with a socially unacceptable opinion...
He's not socially acceptable, okay?
This channel is not for you. Being a monarchist in the present day and age means being a dissident, being skeptical of, well, frankly, everything modern society holds dear, seeing as it sucks ass.
It's a very leftist perspective. He's anti-society, right? Does he ever have prescriptions on what we can do pragmatically in society?
And everyone seems either cringe, dim-witted, or completely insane. And because I notice things, I maintain some rather
This makes sense. It's a dictatorship in a free market. Yeah. In terms of countries, that makes less sense. In a digital space, that makes a lot of sense.
critical views on things like men and women, force and equality.
Whoa!
Oh, wait, that's the same thing. Race, ethnicity, genetics, and intelligence. And more importantly, the most overrated virtue in all of society, freedom. I hold a more Darwinian view of civilization.
Okay, fellas. Enjoying the video? Like and leave a comment. Fine.
Not because I'm trying to be edgy, mind you, but because I have a pair of functioning frickin' eyes.
Want spicier, no-holds-barred content?
It's very easy to appear radical when everything else around you seems hell-bent on running headfirst into the brick wall of surreal.
Only on Rumble. Link is in the description. Let's take a peek at his Rumble. Again, even just 6 days ago, there's a test stream on his Rumble. So we have a stream from 6 days ago, a month ago, and 5 months ago. He was doing some sort of show. I don't know why that stopped. Oh, you guys want to hear? Okay, so I actually edited out the non-YouTube safe parts. But this is this video right here. The Broken Crown continues, okay? Here's what you can expect from the very spicy streams. And this hurts me.
Posting on the fucking chat. God damn. Yeah, Jack, I'm a fucking...
Oh, did the YouTube stream in?
Yes.
And are we on Rumble now?
Yeah, we are live on Rumble right now.
Oh.
Oh, we're on Rumble?
Okay.
Fantastic. Yep. That's fucking good. Oh, yes. Free to last.
We had an N-word F-slur. They're on Rumble now, okay?
Yes, we are officially on Rumble, which means you could say some mad shit.
Whoa. Uh-huh. Yep, so we can say whatever we want. There we go.
Yeah.
Yeah. He swears.
Isn't it racial slur?
What else did I say I can't say?
Yeah, for some bizarre reason, the Rumble stream is totally fine. Which means something was wrong with Rumble before, and now it's absolutely fine. So now you can just say some wild fucking shit. Greetings, people. Faggots. Oh, thank fuck God. That feels so good.
Freedom at last.
Yeah,
I gotta pull up the Rumble shit.
Yeah, now you can basically say whatever the fuck hell you want. Like, there is no hold barred on Rumble. You can say all the racial slurs as much as you fucking want.
Yeah.
Now you can say faggot, nigs, fuck, no one gives a shit. Absolutely fucking bad.
Okay, so we're very excited that we get to say slurs. I get it. I understand it. Pretty spicy. Here's what's bizarre about the Rumble. He only streams on Rumble, and he barely streams on Rumble. Okay, now this is curious. Does Bill get paid when he streams? So, for example, to catch a retard right here, a 5-hour stream. And I want you to confirm as to whether or not this is Bill on here.
Confused me about watching games over the year is that almost every sort of culture thing is sort of like a go-to
So he does
stop.
a 5-hour stream, which is like, yeah, you should do these on YouTube where you have a larger audience and it's easier just to participate in the chat.
Gap into politics because I've noticed this myself is
Does Bill get paid for doing this 5-hour stream?
that once you've attained a certain level of
Because we all know Spoon likes to get his money from the YouTube channel. I'm wondering if Bill works for free. Anyway, he shows that he can stream, but he always needs someone there. He's been streaming for 4 years now. He's been streaming for 5 years now, and he still can't stream by himself. He needs Bill to be there, and I don't know if Bill really even gets paid any money. Interesting. Here's what I don't get. Aiden and Spoon have been streaming for so long now. Why? I have the first Ardy and Fist test stream. That's an hour and 15 minutes. That's unlisted. Okay? I do not understand. Both of them combined have 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. What is this test stream? I'm trying to help over here, okay?
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is fucking atrocious. Holy fuck.
Make this an unlisted stream or something.
What the fuck? Oh my god. Well, provided I can figure out how the fuck to log in.
Is Restream not like a thing you can pay for?
I don't think so.
Why are we doing
Wait a
this?
minute, you've got StreamYard, don't you?
I have StreamYards too.
Yeah, doesn't StreamYard allow multiple?
I don't know.
They're doing a test stream to try to multi-stream when Aiden already has StreamYard, which is what I already use to multi-stream. They've been streaming for 4 or 5 years now, and they're doing a test stream to try to figure out how to do a multi-stream to YouTube, Rumble, and Kick. Yes, StreamYard can do it. This is, I'm sorry, fellas. As a content creator, this is negligence and incompetence. Holy moly, why? Okay, that's what it is. Trying to help over here, okay? Some football coach advice. Don't do a test stream. Talk to Yiz! Talk to Noosefist! He was just on! What is this test stream to multi-stream? Sorry, but you see what I'm saying. How much more experience do you have to have streaming? How much larger a follower count do you have to have? If you don't do a test stream for doesn't look good.
If that freedom line disturbs you, I would implore you to take a look around and ask yourself, why do so many people believe things that hold no value to civilization whatsoever outside of appealing to some disconnected utopian fantasy of acceptance? A society that primarily values freedom and tolerance is a weak one that has no bloody standards. And seeing as this community is rather well regulated, because we actually have said standards, and I'm known to make videos on comments that get pinned and shamed for showcasing lackluster takes not up to competent intellectual caliber, comment at your own peril. You may also find me on Wednesday evenings at 8:30 GMT with Aiden Paladin on the Broken Crown channel, where we talk about all kinds of nonsense. That pretty much always ends up devolving into nonsense of our own making.
Now, this was a year and 3 months ago. Not a ton of growth, fellas.
I also do my own live streams exclusively on Rumble on random dates on either a Tuesday or Thursday evening at 9 p.m. with Vex Electronica, called The Hwang and the Whiteless. Just a show.
Why are you Scream? Let me try and put this in a language you understand. I'm a fat, blithering, retarded, fat idiot.
With no filter whatsoever. You can also find me next where my takes are ever so slightly more coarse and blunt than they are on here. All of which is linked down below in the description, as well as my Patreon, merch, etc., etc. If that seems like your kettle of fish, feel free to hang out. We like to enjoy ourselves around here. Cheers for watching, and once again,
fellas,
apologize for nothing.
Before I give you this ironclad defense of me calling him James Lindsay, before I do that, Aramaic Discourse, $5. Always good to see you. Spoon, the last true heir of Shaka Zulu. Whoa, that's a pivot. You're pivoting. You can never talk about South Africa. That's effeminate and pivoting. Python Bacon became a member. There's a very unique content behind the paywall, fella. Check the live streams, check the videos. I have lore videos where I talk about, I mean, it was me in 2017, 2018. Cringe stuff of my political leanings back then, noticing something was wrong. And I had the wherewithal to actually record it, not knowing what I'd use it for. And now I have behind the wall content. Arden Party, $5, my second channel. Arden puts out more content and makes sense why you have a different channel. See what I'm saying? If you put out occasional content, it's like, well, just put that on your channel. If you're putting out content actively, daily, then yes, you would want to divide that content. You can also find him on X, Arden Party. Please remember to like the stream. For mine, Banhammer is bored. Very nice. King Spectre, $5. Thank you. Get that picture. Spoon doesn't want his king to be daddy. He wants his king to be massa. South Africa is still Africa at the end of the day. Oh, you can't say that. You can't say anything about Africa, but you can say everything about America. I wonder why people hate him so much. Leningrad, $5. My pushback to you is don't conflate monarchist with wanting to be the monarch, even though Spoon leans that way. Okay. It's too ideological for me. So he'll never take it upon himself to ever have to do anything monarchical. He's just, hey man, I'm just saying communism works. Okay. Are you completely like living outside of your means, Hassan Piker? Yeah, this is the Hassan Piker defense. So then you would defend Hassan Piker being like, well, hey, we're not in that system. All right. I don't want to be the revolutionary in charge. I don't want to be the monarchist. I'm just going to run my YouTube channel like a democracy. Huh. Interesting. Gray Slayer, $5. Thank you. I miss Fist. Try to do an impersonation of him. Oh, yeah. Oh, what am I? No, I can't. I'm just going to be making fun of him. I would never make fun of him. DPK. Remember for 8 months. Let's go, fellas. Are we ready for the immutable James Lindsay comparison?
Yeah. Cheers for watching, and once again,
I apologize for nothing.
So the only other person I've seen quote themselves is James Lindsay. This says, no, I'm still not telling people to subscribe. Much like democracy, it's cringing gay, the aristocratic utensil. I mean, I also don't do that, but I don't pat myself on the back for it. James Lindsay's YouTube posts is him quoting himself all the fucking time. The only thing cringier than James Lindsay doing that is if he had a soundtrack as he was doing it. Sweet mother of pearl, that hurt. He's edgy, okay? He doesn't care. He's not in a team. Fair enough. So since he never actually does a stream, Spoon, just do a stream where you're reading the comments then. All right? Make that in the content. Do a stream. Reading the comments that you have such awful answers to. Let's see what happens when he's left to his own devices. Actually, and makes a video about a single comment from a random anon.
let's get one thing straight here, folks. I am one of the nicest people you will ever meet.
Absolutely incredible. It just screams Lindsay.
Sounds crazy, I'm aware, but really it's true. And you see, I require only two things. Don't be stupid and don't be an asshole. And especially,
don't be dumb and mean. Wow. We're reading at a 3rd grade level right now.
Don't be a stupid asshole. In fact, this whole episode can simply be called Stop Being a Stupid Asshole. I haven't done one of these episodes in quite a while, primarily because no one has really said anything particularly bad worthy of my ire. Until lo and behold, some pleb decided to be a wanker and disturb my pleasant equilibrium. What a bastard. And I believe stupidity should have some consequences. Enter this comment on the Sticks video from yesterday.
Boone, I couldn't agree with you more that stupidity should have some consequences. And fellas, here we go.
Stop cloud chasing, man. Okay, I'm jumping the gun here a little. This person claims to be older than I am, so maybe they've got some short-term memory loss. Maybe some Biden syndrome, who knows? Maybe pay attention next time and open up your ears, boomer. V, you were saying?
The Bukake of likes must flow. It is social media where content, couple, and extreme...
Remember next time. You paid for super chats on his stream the other day just to get noticed, hoping someone would say, oh, look, there's Aristocratic Utensil. Then someone would say, who's that? And then, he's got a YouTube channel. Yeah, all of this you're just pulling out of your ass. But anyway, go on. Sending traffic to you. That's why you keep attaching yourself to far more accomplished, popular, and successful creators. There are dozens of creators out there who are worth calling out. They're literally easy to find and more off the rails. Yet you seem to gravitate towards bigger creators just to get your name out there, aka cloud chasing. If it isn't Sargon, it sticks. If it isn't that, then you choose.
Yeah, we can all agree he has all the time in the world to respond to comments, when he has all the time in the world to make a video about a comment.
Someone who happens to be popular trending at the time, like Grums. Behave. Behave. Shout out to Candy Cane here.
Enjoying the video? Like and leave a comment.
If these people ever develop the common sense to understand self-advertising and
Want a spicier, no holds barred content?
promoting oneself, they could be dangerous. I mean, at this point, why even address your proposal? I would say knee-jerk, however, even that requires...
Check out the Rumble, where him and Aiden did a test stream for 27 minutes, trying to figure out how to stream to multiple platforms at the same time. Ooh, it's spicy.
some basic brain function. Yeah, true. With the kid saying, no, I understand that concept.
I somehow doubt that.
Of course, he's not going to address anyone who's irrelevant because nobody would care. And yet you literally told me to do that in the opening paragraph, but here you seem to understand why I wouldn't do that. Good God, this is one disjointed ramble.
We can tell that, like, these conversations happen in the shower for Spoon, right? Oh, I should have said this!
It's just that he only ever seems to address whoever is trending at the time. Yeah, it's called the news cycle, you twat. Of course, if something is trending, it's an obvious topic to discuss, but it is seemingly the only thing he ever discusses.
Seems to be having difficulty keeping up with the news cycle nowadays.
Yes, totally. Which is why I did a video on something Styx said over a week ago about the Supreme Court and the balance of powers of the US government. That wasn't even on YouTube because clearly that is a rich vein of clout to mine. Good God, these people are so stupid. You just whine that I apparently only ever cover obvious topics or that I cloud chase only bigger people and popular events and not smaller creators. You even explain why it is not lucrative to do so, and yet your suggestion for content is that I find these dozens of other very easy to find content creators apparently that are more off the rails to call them out. Why? I've noticed despite the claim of dozens of them, you haven't named a single one of them. Why is that? I said in multiple videos now, my Twitter DMs are open, anyone can message me, and yet here you are, bitching like a salty wench, spending money.
Oh, this is good from across the pond, Newsfist. These kinds of comeback were originally known as stair thoughts, as in, you think of them later walking up the stairs. Leave it to this asshole when I'm trying to stream by myself, having to go, it's not really a shower thought. Technically, historically, it's really stair thoughts.
On super chats on another more prominent creator is just going, ooh, look at me, address me. I'm going to make a video about the time I paid for you to notice me. Have I ever done that? No, because my audience would bully and berate me if I ever did something so cringe, and they would be right to do so. And if we scroll down here...
Oh yeah, he takes being bullied very well.
Look at this. Unfortunately, you seem incapable of having a normal adult conversation where people can...
I love this. It's just like James Lindsay. What he highlights is what we want answers to. You seem incapable of having a normal adult conversation where people can disagree without being condescending. I think James Lindsay also has that problem.
Disagree without being condescending, without trying to diminish somebody else's views by calling them a kid, asking your audience to explain to me why I'm wrong because you don't have the energy. Listen here, you stuck-up little wanker. You're the one who came into my comment section, started telling me what to do, assumed my intentions about a super chat, lied about it, told me I need to bother calling out dozens.
This is like middle school girl drama, right? He actually sounds like, do you know what this is like? This is like you're in a relationship, your girlfriend comes home, and she's like, you know, being a cashier at a grocery store, she's like, let me tell you what this customer said to me today. And you're like, okay, all right, sweetie, go ahead and bitch about this meaningless thing. Go ahead.
Of other creators, seemingly on the basis of them being more unhinged, even though in the very next paragraph you also tell me why no one would care, which begs the question, why the hell are you telling me to waste my time? After which you told me to behave, and you dare have the gall to suggest I'm the one seemingly incapable of having a normal adult conversation.
Who are you? This is very similar to the Lauren Southern video I just put out with just incorrigible, indignant. These people never, it has to be, I don't want to say narcissist, just a level of ego of like, I can't believe somebody, well, how many times would it have to happen on the internet in the 2020s where you understand that people are going to say things on the internet and it's a random person and it's not a real person in front of you, but it seems like it really affects him.
And why should I care?
Freaking ego of these people. The reason I call you a kid is because you have the entitled attitude of a spoiled brat. Let me address something, along with this bellend who's accusing me of being up V's ass, hoping to get a shout out. Apparently they don't know this. I'm friends with V. I've streamed with the guy. He's been on our stream. I like V. We have a good back and forth. But let me just point this out as a warning for anyone else who tries this nonsense. If you're going to come at me with this limp-wristed BS, you better pray your punches land, because I'm the one with the analytics here, and I will happily embarrass.
He's the one I have to call an audible. I have to call an audible right now. He's the one with the analytics here. Well, fellas, he swung his dick first. Oh, Lord. How is his channel doing? Let's pull her up. Minus 200 subs in the last 30 days. 40,000 views in the last 30 days. Fair enough. Hey! Hey! Hold on. Me typing live. Shame me for that. Here, I have 138,000 views in the last 30 days. I also have a fifth of the subscribers of Spoon. Spoon, baby. Come on. Don't swing your dick like that.
Embarrass you and blast your failure for everyone to see. As far as the cloud chasing thing is concerned, do tell, what is your metric for cloud chasing? Is it subs earned? Is it number of videos put out? Do tell. Because Sargon 7 years ago, if his interview on Rogan was accurate, put out more videos on Anita Sarkeesian than I have on any other content creator. Was he cloud chasing off Anita, was he? And was that acceptable? Again, do tell. I've done over 920 videos on this channel, right? You know how many I've done on Sargon? 9. That's not even 1%. 464 subs, not even 52 on average.
I can't, dude. I fucking can't with this guy. Sure, in the total amount of time the channel has been there, that is true. Mind you, he made 2 videos on Sargon and then stopped making videos and then came back. Or at least made a video in Sargon, took a break, and then came back. This is what's on his brain. It's incredible.
11 videos, 441 subs, about 40 on average. Short Fed Otaku, 7 videos, 1,621 subs, 231
What is this
on average.
autism math
And I don't
right
even
now?
follow Dev on anything. The only time I ever see or talk about him is when other people message me about him.
Why are you explaining yourself to this person if it doesn't bother you?
My good God, it's almost like when you listen to your audience, you might get more views. Shocking how that works. How many videos has V done on Dev? Or can he do videos on Dev because they're friends? And by that same...
If you listen to your audience, very good feedback, past Spoon. I hope future Spoon takes that feedback.
Same token then, can I do videos on V, or must I become friends through some non-content creator way? Tell me how this all works, so I must know these bullshit rules. You know who's in my top 3? Actman, 3 videos, one of which featured as 2,319 subs, highest on average 773. Destiny, 4 videos, one about Abba and Breach, 2,462 subs, average 615. And number 1, of course, just some guy. 5 videos, 2,538 subs, little over 500 on average. Oh, and speaking of just some guy, because I wanted to make this joke for ages now.
Yeah.
He is proving himself to an anon.
So literally, this is why I even made the video.
He doubled down even after over 40 minutes, and it did really, really well. I didn't even...
Okay, let's go into the future right now. Oh, my Lord and Taylor. That was a video about a random comment a person left. He's not fragile. He's not like a female.
Oh, holy sweet mother of Moses.
This is a quick update. Yes, I'm still alive somewhat. From April 16th of 2026.
Yes, I'm still alive. Hi, and all of that. Let me explain the absence. Normally, my videos are quite scripted, orderly, somewhat tidy. Well, at least I try anyway. This is just going to be me ranting and roaring. In case you guys haven't noticed, there's only one thing of note dominating the news cycle right now, and trying to keep up with it. And it's many tentacles, offshoots.
What a female excuse. You do drama videos anyway, then do a drama video or something. So On one hand, he doesn't do drama videos when he mainly does drama videos. And on the other hand, he thinks he's some sort of like political pundit. It's very James Lindsay.
The twists and turns is a bloody nightmare. I'm still doing work, by the way. Just said work now involves listening to countless hours of real-time war commentary and
Why are you listening to countless hours of real-time war commentary? Why? Why are you doing that? Who the fuck goes to you for war footage? This is so confusing. No step on rake. So we have Middle East video right here. We have Birdman claims IQ is not genetic. And we're going to watch this, fellas. The Content Creators Cove of Copium, an alliteration for the title. Drama slot video about short fat otaku. Sargon again. And Sargon again. Andrew Wilson video. So why does Nick Fuentes video? Where is this coming from where he has to report on the war? See, do you see how I'm trying to help, right? Sure, I'm using a football coach tone, but that's not why people go to you. Give us some of the slop.
My word, it's pretty exhausting. Not that it's challenging, of course, it's just volume. Rather than doing a play-by-play, which you can't do on a daily basis unless you're in that sort of category with access. I've been running up little bits and pieces here and there from over a week ago, but it just gets freaking crazier every day. So what I've done instead is to do a sort of documentary of how this all started, because some interesting details have emerged at the time I started writing the bloody thing.
Of course, fellas, enjoying the video, like and leave a comment.
Thanks for that one, New York Times, as well as other shit over the course of several weeks.
You want spicier, no-holds-barred content?
Fucking up the strait, Trump begging Europe, then pissing off Europe. What else is new? Threatening to nuke Iran.
You're going to want to go over to Rumble, where they have a 27-minute stream where Spoon and other people say slurs, followed by a deafening silence. Very spicy. You can't hear that anywhere else.
And civilization, blowing up bridges, the most ridiculous rescue story ever told, feuding with the Pope, blocking the Strait of Hormuz, Trump depicting himself as Jesus. It's like a fucking schizo wrote this bloody narrative. It's insane. Can we please just get 48 hours?
This is alcohol wet brain right now. So me and Fist have talked about this where things are like moving really fast, right? But there's a channel, there's a stream, and you have to find a way to get it done. Sometimes I'm a little more burnt out and I'll let Fist know. And I'm like, dude, I'm a little burnt out. Cool. Fist has been like, dude, I'm like sick. He doesn't get burnt out. He'll like get sick. He's like, dude, I'm kind of sick right now. I'm like, cool. There's that communication. But the show must go on. And you have to like try to push through it. Which is like, this is still new for me and Fist, by the way. With Spoon and Aiden, they've been doing this for 4 years. I don't know. That needs to be criticized. I don't know how else to say it. How do you have no idea what you're doing?
Hours of the dawn not doing or saying crazy ass shit. Is that so much to ask? To give you guys a little heads up, normally my videos are about 8 to 10 minutes, about 2,000, 2,500 words, decent average. I've done a few longer ones recently. They seem to do pretty well. One thing people keep asking me to do more than anything else is to make the videos longer. You guys know the reason the videos are scripted?
Okay, so you'll notice when people ask him when there's, some democratic input of make the videos longer, we like your content, make the videos longer. Well, he's a lazy fucking drunk. So he's like, hold on, I'm not fucking making them long. He'll make like 9-minute videos, dude. He'll make like 1 9-minute video a week, essentially.
Is to keep them as short as possible, yes? I don't want to be like these content creators that ramble on muttering worthless shite for 8 minutes just to get a second-hand bollocks of that. I mean, I like the sound of my own voice, yes, but not that fucking much. Even my ego needs a check. But anyway, the video I'm working on at the moment is about...
Oh, your ego needs a check. Well, step into my office. Let me give you a checkup, Spoon.
4,500 words. Probably going to be north of 6,000 by the end, so 28, 30 pages. I could probably record and edit the audio, put it together all in about 2 days. I want to try and get this out.
Do you see how he's just thinking out loud right now? Do you have any friends to talk to? Talk to Aiden about this? off stream. Just imagine if I made content muttering to myself, you would be like, Ardy, just so you know, if you keep that on the inside, like if you need ideas to bounce off of, just let me know. Like, why is this content?
Before the end of the week, because at this point I'm feeling kind of guilty for not putting out content. Yes, I do actually have emotions. Shocking. Just thought I'd give an update to say I'm not dead. So yeah, there you go. Oh, actually, one last thing. I can maybe ask this here because the video is massively long. I say massively long. It's about 33 minutes at the moment, I think, and it's not done yet. So
the video so far is 33 minutes, and it's not quite done yet. That is, what, 2 weeks ago? See, this is why you don't want to say timelines publicly. Again, this is great advice. You do not want to overpromise and underdeliver, okay? It makes people disinterested. They get excited, they get let down, right? I mean, that's just good advice. Keep that on the inside. Don't let people know unless you're certain you're going to do it, or just make it a post to keep them updated.
I want to add a bit about content creators as well, who frankly deserve a kicking for their obvious wank takes.
Ooh, who are they? Ooh, is he going to say who they are? Is he going to vague post like James Lindsay?
Do you guys want me to include that in the video as well, or keep that one separate?
Yeah, monarchist over here. Everybody, what should I do? Daddy needs a wipey. What do I do?
Do tell me in the comments section. Do I give an outro for this one? Nah, probably not. Hasn't really merited one as much. Hopefully I'll see you all double quick.
Do you see how he enjoys not trying is like cool, right? Not trying is a very cool thing. Okay, we'll do one more. Because I like to hear how his inner monologue, because like usually when you're trying to argue with Spoon on the internet after he says something stupid, you don't get a response. It's very unsatisfying. I like to see the inner workings of his head for his stare thoughts.
You know, when I do videos on this channel, the main thing I do, aside from trying to fit in the phrases wanker and bollocks, maybe twat every once in a while, is try my best to get people to actually think for once.
God damn, I can't get with this guy. Torture Wire, $5. Thank you so much. I always find it funny when people say they're a monarchist, like it's a political party you can vote for, as opposed to saying, I believe in monarchy. Whatever you... So I'm a pro-natalist. I'm not going to be having kids, right? But I advocate for that. So, like, I understand that concept, and I'm not living that virtue. I understand that. But I'm not acting like... I utilize that advocacy when somebody is like with the Wilsons, for example. It's like, okay, well, he like made kids and he's in a happy relationship. So like, what is your complaint exactly? Like a natalist viewpoint is like, okay, we've made kids and it looks like they're being taken care of and it looks like they have a great moral compass through Christianity. So like, what exactly? It's more of like, if that would be the end goal, which is why I don't have as many criticisms. But saying you're a monarchist to escape any conversation, to be an edgy independent and go, well, I don't like either party. So what do you think of that? I think one guy should be in charge. What denomination of Christianity, by the way, Spoon? No. I'm never going to expound upon the monarchy at all whatsoever. And I'm actually going to cry when Trump exerts force globally. But I am a monarchist, whatever that means. Gypsy Harlow, $5, thank you. It'd be interesting to see you and Fist go over a Gnostic informant video. I've been inundated with people to talk about in my brain, and I know a little bit about them. Why does that feel familiar? Come on, autism. Come on, autism! I have it. I think that was recently in a bookmark. I think it was. I'd have to find it later on. That's probably a good idea. I don't know. Yes, maybe. It's very familiar. I know that I have some overlap. I know that. I would just need more information. Thank you.
And I'll openly say this because, frankly, I don't care. There's plenty of you commenting that are, frankly, too stupid to watch this channel and do that. Because every once in a while, I'll do a video that clearly shows the divide between those who can listen to learn and those who can only hear to react. The last video was such an example. If you haven't watched it yet, I'd suggest doing so, otherwise this video might make no sense. I did ponder because it featured academic age, and I should tell people from the outset, maybe watch the video in its entirety before dropping a comment, thinking, seeing as it's AA, there should be...
You have to realize that people are not going to watch the whole video before leaving a comment. How much longer is it going to take for you to be making content to realize that it is what it is, boy? It is what it is. And they're not going to do that.
Be kind of a given, but no. Twats. Speaking of twats, I found this comment, and this was one of those comments that made me tilt my head and think, you daft git. So I went tear through this. I suppose this is a video that makes me unsubscribe. This is not a departure lounge, pal. Your announcement isn't necessary. It's quite strange to pull that and then drop a massive comment. Why are you expecting me to read this?
So this is why it feels like communist advocacy. It'll just work out. It would just work itself out.
Meandering wank if you just told me you're buggering off. That makes no sense. You're off to a great start, by the way. I've seen Academic Agent's video, and it's an incredibly narrow end. This is not a departure lounge pass. I suppose this is a video that makes me unsubscribe. This is not a departure lounge, pal. Your announcement isn't necessary. It's quite strange to pull that and then drop a massive comment. Why are you expecting me to read this meandering wank if you just told me you're buggering?
Why are you expecting me to read this meandering wank? Now, let's just go forward in the video. He is going to read the entire comment and, in addition, make a fucking video about it. I've only seen that level of unawareness with James Lindsay. Probably other people, but it just tastes so good.
Told me you're buggering off. That makes no sense. You're off to a great start, by the way. I've seen Academic Agent's video, and it's an incredibly narrow and willfully ignorant take on Razor's argument. Trust me, as hard as you think AA's take was, Razor's rebuttal somehow and even less. Razor insists Tucker has changed.
Oh, let's do this. No problem. Let's do this. Absolutely. No problem, fellas. King Spectre, $5. Thank you. The, well, I'm a monarchist nonsense is an extension of the, well, I don't agree with that response that I know makes you specifically rage. But, like, you have an opportunity to be like, I'm going to be decisive with my channel and make all of the decisions. And I have the final say. But he aimlessly meanders and, like, I don't really know what to do, but I know that, like, there's good monarchies and bad monarchies. You should not be an example of a bad monarchy if you're advocating for monarchy. Essentially, it's what it is, but let's get down to this. Instead of you, me, $5, why are you ankle biting? Huh. Ankle biting. Am I going to take a small detour? I might. Ian Malcolm on Twitter. He is one of the biggest names in the space. If you're trying to trigger me, it's working. He is doing real action. Oh. Exposing them with moldy bread. You're going to throw me a curveball, huh? All right. I can call an audible. I'll let this play.
Political affiliations too often and often for money, and that his current motivations of now being pro-Muslim should be viewed with extreme skepticism. AA completely overgeneralizes to the point of blindingly following Tuck and Fuentes and clearly did zero research into why Razor thinks this way. Do tell us, where's an example of this overgeneralization you speak of? See, this is why I said to watch the video in its entirety before you open your noise hole, because anyone who watched the video will tell you I literally address all of this in the video. I even acknowledge Tucker's murky CIA past and that he apparently changes his positions for money. My counter to this, though, was that this is the fault of the entire system as it stands right now, hence why I said, if this is something that generally irks you, why...
Oh, I got the Ian Malcolm content on deck, fella. I can give you a fantastic explanation.
Aren't you an anarchist? I also brought up an example of an ever-Trumper in the Vice President, J.D. Vance. In fact, let's examine this in autistic detail just to ensure there's no way you could possibly weasel your way out of this. When Vance was an ever-Trumper, do you think this was one out of sheer personal conviction? Or do you think he just said it?
I'm too annoyed. Let's do it now. Okay. So, ankle biting. This term is thrown around. I believe it means trying to, what? Get the attention of someone? What, like for clout? Is that what ankle biting means? I understand you're going to be using it in whatever way it's used on the internet. The words do mean something. me try and walk through this. Why are you ankle biting? Ian Malcolm. So this is Ian Malcolm 84. Let me give the man his due before I disagree with him. Very moo critical. Okay. Very moo critical. Got the classic list. All the evidence. Absolutely. Yes. Great things to be able to reference. Yeah. All of that's good. Don't have a problem with any of that. So, where this started, I suppose, I said the people Mooseberging are trying to tell Christians to hold themselves to a higher Christian standard. So Ian Malcolm is like, this leftist totally owned Andrew because he stood up for himself, stood up for his wife. I just thought it was an odd criticism. In fact, one would say Ian was ankle biting Andrew by saying the same leftist comments of Andrew Wilson. Oh, that leftist lesbian really owned Andrew Wilson. Why? Because he called her out for trying to tear down his wife? I don't understand. And now, and look at this. Here we go. Because Ian doesn't play red team, blue team dynamics. He'll call out anyone and everyone on missteps in hopes they either learn from their errors or simply move out of the way. This guy is a party of one. He's the lone wolf pack, okay? Now, here's what I want you to understand, okay? The engagement on X is not an indicator of popularity. So, for example, Ian will have spaces, as I've already covered. He'll host spaces which just disappear after 30 days, okay? Sure, he'll have a couple hundred people listening to the space. That doesn't turn into anything. The space is just deleted in 30 days, okay? He's not doing a stream on it where it stays up. People can actually listen to it and carry it forward. No. This is X ankle biting is what he's doing. Now, the issue that we had, his response to what I said, Ian can behave however he wants publicly, but he's going to hold the Christian to a Christian standard, right? Something that Christians are very used to interacting with. Ian says, it's wrong to note a self-proclaimed blood sport champion debater as obvious L. It's wrong to demand those professing morals to hold them. Professing morals. What morals are you talking about? What morals did he? Yeah, so. It's wrong to challenge a representative of Christian nationalism. I didn't do anything. It's wrong to note he dodges the JQ. He doesn't dodge the JQ. He just doesn't make it the forefront of what he's doing. So what morals are you even referring to? You just asked loaded rhetorical questions. What's your claim? What did he do that went against his morals? How did he lose the debate by ridiculing a leftist? Why does he have to bring up the JQ when he's an ortho? It's already implied. He goes, you're serious? He lost the moment his cortisol activated, his lizard brain. Who the fuck sounds like they're ankle biting right now? I'm asking him about his opinion. And he's responding like he's ankle biting. As for the JQ, it's antithetical. As for the JQ, it's antithetical to Christianity and to nationalism. Dude, I don't know what to tell you. This is too retarded to even engage with, okay? Sure, he moosebergs, absolutely, but he's a party of one. He's not really looking to coalition build or anything. So I think he's very deserving of criticism when he's just trying to ankle bite Andrew Wilson. Sorry for that detour, fellas. But that's how your boy can operate on the fly.
To cozy up to a potential position in politics? Or do you think he was some kind of...
That's also a good point. He's also going to be debating Dinesh D'Souza on Israel, essentially. So But it's got to be all the time. He's got to go against the moose all the time. He's coming from a pro-natalist perspective. He wants more babies being made, and he wants feminism to dial down, which is a much more accessible conversation for the mainstream.
From day one, meeting Trump behind the scenes going, hey, Donald, I don't really dislike all your positions, wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Do you think his shift towards Trump was based on some kind of genuine self-reflection, realizing the error of his ways? Or do you think it was, well, the people like Trump and it's good for...
Anyways, this is the same spoon that said, you think I'm going to read this entire comment?
my potential career to do so as well. See, here's the thing for you. You don't know. Because as I mentioned before a long, long time ago, these people are supposed to be representatives of the will of the people. And if the will of the people changes, they are required to follow by literal job description. If your job depends on changing your positions to suit the will of your constituents you're supposed to represent, well then changing your positions for cash is quite the feature of the democratic process. Stop me if this is breaking your tiny mind, by the way.
This is also a good point as well. The JQ is outside of Christianity. So this is what I'm saying. This guy's not a Christian. And like a leftist, he's saying to Andrew Wilson, just like the leftist, what about your morals, though? What about your morals? I don't know, Christian redemption, that you can, as long as you are sincerely redeeming yourself and accepting Christ into your life, your sins will be forgiven. Isn't that the morality? And then I asked him, and he couldn't even say what it was, but Christians, you have to be held to your morality, as your opposition can do whatever they want. That's the side I want to be on. Let me hype Ian Malcolm. Definitely. That guy's not going to turn on me to ankle bite me at the quickest moment possible.
Wait. Again, I can understand Carlson isn't a politician, but it's why I asked, is there a problem with the rhetoric itself, or is the problem Carlson is the one saying it? That's why I brought up the problem being the system itself, because you look kind of gimpy if you complain about this, and you undoubtedly still support people that went through the so-called change of heart because the system requires you to do so. In the words of Rachel Mencken, a professional politician is a professionally dishonorable man. In order to get anywhere near...
I really love how it's so tough to get through spoon content, where I'm actually pivoting to this right now. The only thing Andrew did wrong was break composure in the last minute of a 5-hour debate, and they used that because he didn't do anything else wrong. So I would say, and I've tried to make this point, do you think Andrew Wilson cares about what we think or what his wife thinks? What she said about his wife. This is when it was like first entering discourse of like she's had previous kids from previous relationships and whatnot. I think the most important thing to him was to go home and say to his wife, I defended you, fuck that bitch, right? I think that's what he would be thinking. Whatever we care about rhetorically, how it looked, I think he was more concerned with going home to his wife and being like, I gave that bitch some fucking heat for what she said about you. That would make the most sense to me.
High office, he has to make so many compromises and submit to so many humiliations that he becomes indistinguishable from a streetwalker. Again, I point out in the video that AA has expressed skepticism of Tucker during his video on Ben Shapiro's smearing of the duo because it was that bad, saying maybe this is all a massive work. In fact, here, let's listen to it.
I don't know.
Do we got some Troon action in the chat that I'm not seeing?
That doesn't work for me, brother. I'm the hottest thing in town now. Is that how it we sing? Is how this is massive.
If you don't like Carlson, we understand that, but then who do you support and why? By the way, these aren't even meant to be gotchas. These are just bog-standard questions I would have for anyone who engages in political commentary.
Oh my God, I can't. Okay, let's get to the actual content, and then I'm probably going to spurg at chat after. So, the content creators of Copium, where now he has graduated to... Spoon leaked his DMs with Jake Rattlesnake just to show us how Jake Rattlesnake was making fun of him. It's only something James Lindsay would do.
Ah, yes. Greetings, people. Hello and all of that. Yes, I'm still alive. I gotta say this. The last month and a bit, pretty much since the really stupid Iran war kicked off, actually kicked off since the passing of Kirk, but that's a whole nother story. The last month and a bit has seen...
Well, this is a fair point. He could have, but you're assuming Andrew Wilson's intention was giving a shit about what you or anyone else thinks, right? He was defending his wife. So that, I mean, in that moment, he went, oh, you're not getting away with talking about my wife. He has to go home and see his wife, right? So I think that was more important than rhetorically like being optical. He wasn't thinking of that. He was like, oh, I'm taking her down. I don't give a shit. I'm taking her down a peg.
So many people go,
I mean, fellas, if a leftist lesbian says that about your wife in public, you know, you can armchair psychology, backseat drive all you want, right? But I mean, you just deserve shame and mockery for even bringing up such a thing in a conversation.
how can I say this politely? Completely fucking insane. People I know, quite a lot of people I know, actually, people that pay lip service to not believing in democracy, but when the rubber meets the road, man, they crank out the same low-brow engagement slop like everybody else. And my God, has the last few weeks shown who those characters really are. But it does highlight something that most people don't want to.
Now, you should know this video, of course, he didn't release the other video he was talking about. It took him a couple weeks to spit this video out.
Admit to, but I'll say it here because I don't care. The only way to make actual honest political content is to remain factionless. The high IQ, peek behind the curtain show
he has to remain factionless, okay? He never has to defend anything, just like a lefty. He always gets to criticize and deconstruct and can just defend monarchy, which will never happen, and never goes into detail about it. It's a cowardly position.
You how the sausage is made kind of work. And there's not many people who are capable of doing that. Maybe a handful at best.
Fellas, again, enjoying the video. Like and leave a comment.
Reason being, most people are idiots, mindless sheep who still believe in the
Now, if you want spicier, no-holds-barred content,
democracy line, we the people, all that nonsense. And they want to feel like part of a team and cheer for it like
you're of course going to want to go to Spoon's Rumble channel, where he uploads a Rumble stream less than once a month. That's how spicy it is.
Peasants. The moment you break them of this framework, they'll just get irrationally mad and call you a doomer. Again, witless peasants. But that's what most people believe, because that's the system they're in, and they've been brutally propagandized and conditioned to believe anything else is hell on earth. You'll no doubt get a bigger audience if you do the rah-rah faction cheerleading thing, yes, but they don't care for you. They care for the team through you. The moment you no longer do the rah-rah...
See, they don't really care about you, and neither does he, and now we are entering nihilism, right? We're entering political nihilism. No one cares about you, nothing matters, and that's why he's, like, cool and edgy, but then that's why his content suffers, because he's an anti-identity, not a pro-identity. Nothing is really moving him forward. Is he religious? Is he, though? But is he? But does he talk about it? Does he prescribe it? Does he go into detail as some sort of flavor of Protestant monarch? We never know.
Cheerleading thing, they'll abandon you. And if you keep cheering for a team that does the opposite of what you claim you stand for, well, anyone with integrity will recognize you have none and call you fake or a grifter and then piss off. I said this on X a while back. The remaining marketards are a bunch of schizo-contortionist retards.
He's making a video and he's like, hey, I said this on X one time. You know, I was on social media, and I'll show you the social media I was on and what bothered me. But his entire life is X. I feel like this is going to be a reoccurring theme in the near future, where people are now on X so much that their content is going to turn into comments on X. I've seen it with Lauren Southern. I've seen it with Spoon. My sniffer be sniffing, fellas.
High as fuck on cope, concocting QAnon-level horse shit, all to avoid the basic reality that war isn't all that popular. Again, it's been insane. So what I want to do in this video is highlight some of the saner, funnier takes I've seen in the last couple of weeks, as well as mock and ridicule people.
It took him like a month to make a slop video about comments on X.
People who thoroughly deserve it. Start with Mr. Plume here. It's worth pointing out that America has found a way to screw the world.
Somebody said my X feed is exclusively Indians and trains. I feel like that's someone showing me a Rorschach test. Like, what is this? I'm like, I don't know.
Over twice in less than a decade, all while insulting and threatening their allies, pissing on the soldiers who died fighting in their wars, and now they're upset. People openly hate them. Many such cases, in fact. Mr. Larson, brief Trump summary of the past few weeks. Open the strait. Help us open the strait. We don't need the strait open. Open the fucking strait or I destroy you all. We block the strait. Quite jarring to read that, considering it's right on the bloody
money. I love
money.
that. Instead of Spoon saying his own opinions, he's now simply just finding opinions he agrees with, and he's reading them, and that's it. This is the guy that wants you to think critically, by the way.
Paxtube. What we're seeing in the Middle East is a battle between genuine civilization and artificial states. Iran has existed in one form or another for thousands of years. They're being supported by Russia and China, whose civilizations also go back thousands of years. Against them are the artificial entities brought about by the Sykes-Picot Treaty of 1916, the UAE, Bahrain, Kuwait, Jordan, led by the mother of all fake artificial counterfeit entities, Israel. Ouch.
He's literally just reading X. It took him a month to make this video. It's incredible.
One of the most irrational double standards of the USA-Israel warmongers is that they...
Now, unfortunately, for the race realist fellas, JF has done a lot of debates, okay? I don't know if you want to... I don't know if you want to put all your eggs in that basket when it comes to JF, because he 100% murdered his wife, okay? Now, is he right about race realism? Possibly. Possibly. Did he murder his retarded wife? 100% he fucking did. So also, yeah, candidates. I want some candidates. I want to watch some race debates, some race realism debates, fellas.
Expect Iran to suddenly treat the concert of nations that have organized this aggression as individual countries. Qatar did nothing wrong, said Trump a few days ago. Meanwhile, Israel has been treating the whole region as allied under a systemic allegiance to Iran. How many times have we heard Iran-backed militias to justify interventions in Lebanon, in Gaza, in Syria, and Iraq in the past few decades?
That would be hilarious if he's like, I'm watching a debate and he's just crushing the debate. And I'm like, he did kill his wife, but black people definitely are a different species. that would be fantastic content.
Iran correctly and objectively understands the concert of nations that has committed aggression against it as a holistic system of war, oil extraction, petrodollar.
Now this is true. Jared Taylor, I've known about Jared Taylor for, 5, 6, 7 years now. Yes, debates. Has he really had I guess that would be a good candidate so far.
Inflation of elite control over the U.S. government, corruption of local leaders by the U.S., Israeli weaponry acquisition, bombing of Iran. That's a causal chain controlled at every point by the Israelis. U.S. propaganda may choose
Oh my God, he's reading the whole thing! This is what Spoon's reduced to. I swear, this is what Lauren Southern did. This is the same thing. Except at least she was reading things she disagreed with. He's also reading things he does agree with. He's reading the newspaper right now.
This very obvious causal chain to its own people, but Iran doesn't have to believe the artifices that are Kuwait, Qatar, UAE, US-controlled Iraq, etc. If these entities act in concert, then why not call all...
If you guys want to find some racial debates, feel free to find those and find a way to send it to me. Just by giving me the name.
All of them Israeli-backed militias, including the US, incidentally. The Iranians have the sovereign right to understand how the machine of war built by Israel works, and they have decided to strike in line with the reality of the causal chain presented above, rather than the American fiction that the American government feeds its own people.
This is incredible.
Pretty sure that's the best one I've seen so far. But enough of the competence.
So far, he liked those 2 comments. Okay.
Let's go on with the hellscape. Mr. Cernovich, Israel is far from perfect. But now everyone sees what Iran would do with more...
Dude, I know. Why do you think I'm asking for race realism debates right now? I'm watching this and I'm like, oh my God, this is stuff to get through. There's a certain part that I'm leading us to. Rest assured, okay?
Advanced weaponry. They are attacking Arab nations like a rabid dog. They had missiles that could reach Europe.
I have no problem telling you this, DPK. Spoon's unlistenable, okay? What's he complaining about? He's just reading Twitter. He first read what he likes, now he's reading what he doesn't like.
Lied about everything. There's a reason I don't follow this man. His level of disingenuousness borders on cognitive impairment. Assassinating leaders and bombing people tends to lead to retaliation. Shocking, I know. More news at 11.
And I will tell you right now, as God is my witness, if we lose the midterms and we lose 2028, some in this room are going to prison, myself included.
Now,
I mean, that is legitimate when the other administration gets in office. I mean, isn't democracy great, fellas? The Dems are in, you get put in jail. The Republicans get in. Hopefully they get you out of jail. The Dems get in, they put you back in jail. Isn't democracy great?
I am no high IQ genius over here, but it strikes me as rather dumb to beg for Republican support when this administration has never been more unpopular, who started a war that no one sane actually wanted.
Fist, get someone to send you a link of people debating on race realism.
Moving on.
Joe Kent decided to trade a job fighting terrorism for a Rumble podcast. And he wanted to make a big splash on the way out. Who actually gives a shit about changing things? He's a big hero now. This is purely anti-politics. This is the core of the retard right phenomenon. This is anti-politics. Politics is ultimately concerned about winning. You have, your ideas. You want to make the world.
Well, you see, here's the issue. JLM Knight, $10. Thank you so much. Everything is an aesthetic. No need for foundations. It's the image of I don't really even care. I'm a monarchist, man. Okay. Okay. Well, so what denomination of Christianity, dude? Just the monarchy system. The communist system itself. Okay. Well, can we it would just work out. Nobody really knows his position. Lenny Grad, $5. Thank you. Okay, but what if I want mild coloring inside the lines content? Well, I think you might be a little fucking lost, fella, but I much appreciate it. Byzantium, Big Boss, $5. Thank you. Spoon was the one telling us we're stupid for years, and now when we agree with him and name them, he gets angry. He's not the lone Spurg. Exactly. It's very edgy, teenage, we get to say bad words on Rumble kind of vibes, right? We're on Rumble now. One more time. I can't believe that adults do this.
I think this is the first time I've had you. This is only the second time you and I have been on Rumble together.
Bullshit posting on
The YouTube stream in?
Yes.
Are we on Rumble now?
Yeah, we are live on Rumble right now.
Oh.
Oh, we're on Rumble?
Okay.
Fantastic. Yep. That's fucking good. Oh, yes. Freedom at last.
Yes, we are officially on Rumble, which means you could say some mad shit.
This is what it reminds me of, fellas. Let me show you what it reminds me of. This is a goof to me. This isn't a real thing that should happen. So I'm going to give you this.
There we go.
Yeah.
I get all the squares out.
Fucking the racial slur is.
Now, for some bizarre reason, the Rumble stream is totally fine.
Okay. This is what it reminds me of.
We wouldn't want to make it 21 tonight, would we? It's just after 10 p.m. This is the adult tour, which means you can drink if you want, and we can say whatever the hell we want.
Jizz.
Sorry?
Jizz. That's what it reminds me of. Okay, what do you want to say? Anything I'm not supposed to say. Oh, that's so funny to me.
Reflect those ideas. You want to accomplish things. You want to see your ideas brought to life. But winning is actually pretty difficult.
He says as the Republicans control the House, the Senate, and the executive. Pray tell, what do you need to win exactly, except maybe your sovereignty back from a certain AI of the pack variety?
You can't always do what you want to do, right? Sometimes you get less of what you want. You don't get what you want. You have to wait for what you want. You have to work in imperfect systems with imperfect people.
Now, this is true. Now, also, John Doyle is now on the Blaze, right? And he's cucked up his opinions a fair amount, and he's trying to do party politics. I understand that. I understand the criticism of John Doyle. And again, this is just, I want to like John Doyle, but he's making it difficult because he went to the Blaze. He could have had his own thing, but he joined the Blaze, which is never really necessarily a good idea. Their numbers their creators don't do terribly good numbers. It seems like I don't know. I understand the criticism of John Doyle.
They don't always agree with you. I'm sure it's frustrating. I'm sure it's very frustrating for patriots in government. They are very brave for sticking with it because we have no other option. I salute our patriot-occupied government. But what if instead of winning, I don't know, what if politics was just ideas, right? Instead of having to worry about passing bills or overhauling regulation or gathering influence or all these like very unrewarding and tedious things, what if all of the stuff necessary to actually steer the ship, what if you only had to have a thought and then you have to express that thought on the internet? Wouldn't that be awesome? In fact, you could even take a freaking principled stand by doing stuff that actually amounts to just helping your own side lose and then cozy up to the enemy. And you
Well, I mean, there is an argument to be made to not get Democrats elected. Even you can say it's both the same thing, but I mean, we can feel the difference when Republicans are in charge, even though it's neocons, even both the moves are on both sides. Okay. I understand that.
You can do all of that and walk away feeling good about yourself. And this is thanks to, you know, streaming culture, online culture. A lot of people think that politics is just loudly restating your views.
That's rather ironic, John, considering that is exactly what you were doing in this very clip. Retard Right, which if it isn't painfully obvious, is nothing more than an attempt at rebranding James Lindsay's pathetic woke right dumpster fire.
That is true. Saying retard right is in the vein of James Lindsay. Spoon, point spoon. Absolutely. Couldn't agree more. Gay moos or war moos? Yes. Right. Would you rather very gay, very trans kids in the country, or we antagonize people out of the country? These are the two options that you have. Try stopping the moves. We've been trying for 2,000 years. It just so happened nobody wanted to listen to the orthos. So I would say go mess with people in other countries, and then we have a 9/11 every 20 years. That's the best we can do for you. What is it? It's like Pawn Stars. That's the best I can do for you.
I have a phrase. I said on X, utterly incoherent ramble that just amounts to, I'm upset people...
Hold on. Now, this is fair. This is good. The Democrats are worse, but if we keep voting for neocons, we will only get neocons. Now, the left has a long-term strategy, right? Now, we've said the right is just progressives going the speed limit. That's neocons, right? But they have all of the power. Now, I also want you to think of this. The neocons are still doing neocon shit when they're not in charge. They have parallel systems. For you to think that the neocons need to be like in power necessarily to implement their shit is hilarious. All they do is run parallel structures. It's just that right now we no longer have the culture war issues of turning the friggin' kids gay, and so now we just fuck with other countries, which might fuck up the economy. Yeah, absolutely. But do you want gas to be more expensive or to retrain the kids? We're really put in a tough position. But honestly, if you think we're put in a tough position, listen to the last Ardy and Fist with Fist talking about what the fucking UK's going through, okay? If you think you have it bad here. New GM, $10. Nuji, rocking everywhere. I would pay a lot of money to see a debate between Spoon and our own Mr. Freakman on literally any subject. The frustration Spoon would be driven to would butter 1,000 kippas. That doesn't happen. He doesn't even have the debates in through text. Him and Aiden Paladin had like a 9-month silent fight about monetization on the YouTube channel. You think you can talk to another? That's the thing too. I didn't even bring this up. Ooh, you reminded me. You saucy little vixen. Even when he has a stream with somebody, like regularly, it's a woman, Aiden, or it's the Wing and the Whiteless, which is another woman. The man loves streaming with women if he's going to be streaming with someone consistently. Okay? Okay. Byzantium. It's a new word for me. Big Boss, $5. Thank you. Kudos for pointing out his lack of foundation when it comes to monarchy. This is why Hello Listener is our only option for king. That man at least stands on, oh, Byzantium. Yes, now I get it. Big Byzantium guy. I don't know. Can we have, I would need to see his advisors, okay? He really shoots from the hip, it seems like. I don't know, man. That guy really seems to shoot from the hip. Sears Sight, $5. Thank you. Hear me out. Have you ever thought of the fact that you're a stupid head and mean and wrong? Also, restart the stream and don't take a detour this time. I just want to show the fellas my flexibility, okay? I was able to argue about something in the moment out of absolutely nowhere. That's important, my line of work. Frankensteck, $5. Thank you. Ardy, if you want people to understand why the Dems can't get back in power, bring up UK censorship. It's visible and tangible. They never think it's going to happen here, even though it's death by 1,000 cuts. But yes, good point. That's why I was like, well, listen to what they're going through in the UK, dude, okay? Listen to that. If you think like, oh, both sides are the same. We have a Trump at least. DPK, $5. Thank you. We have to be more careful of those who have a platform. I would say trust no one, even if they're saying all the right things, see their actions. Well, this is what discernment is. That's what I do with Vrillium. I will automatically start pushing somebody, okay? There's no time. It's a sense of urgency. I'm going to try and push that person. How quickly did I withdraw my support for Vrillium? You can go back, but it better be quick. You know, I don't want to do the sunk cost fallacy where it's like, oh, I'm going to be embarrassed because I said nope. I'm going to show you I found out more information. I'm going to show you what information I found out, and I'm going to tell you why I'm yelling.
I have to question the motivations for this video. Really? I feel that's pretty self-explanatory.
I'm sorry. My bad.
Notice the administration I'm simping so hard for is catastrophically retarded. Because Joe Kent being in government, ignored and not listened to at all is totally worth his time. Somehow. These types have no idea what being in the halls of power is like, but have the cojones to chastise
the cojones being in the halls of power, okay? I don't know what it's like to be in the halls of power. I've peeked behind the curtain a little bit. I didn't like what I saw, okay? This is why people that are in positions of influence and power, I give them as much grace and charitability as I possibly can, because I ain't going to do it, and someone needs to do it, and it's a very dirty game.
the ones that do. How they work out for Dan Bongino, by the way. My honest opinion, if you look at the current government and you think Joe Kent is the one worthy of your ire, your political acumen is not to be taken seriously. Now this next one, not gonna lie, this one pissed me the hell off because if there's one thing I can't stand, it's people who are full of shit. Guy named Jake Rattlesnake posts this and asks,
Jake Rattlesnake, with 940,000 subs on YouTube, this is actually his full-time job. He has a travel blog. He is very much a content creator and influencer who now works a lot with Andrew Wilson, compared to Spoon.
why do you think they changed their tune? Now,
so why do you think they changed their tune? Be as honest as possible. And all we're seeing is Alex Jones, and it says before and after the taste of Epstein files and Iran. So as a content creator, instead of just like democratically being like this one or that one, Spoon, what he's doing is getting engagement, and then this is going to help him decide how he wants to talk about this during a live stream, during a video. So he's getting very general and broad feedback from people so he can decide what he should talk about.
I didn't even watch the video. I just
by all means, make a video on it.
The question, and because I know him, DM'd him that post in 2 words. This? Really?
Okay. Here we are, fellas. We've arrived. How bitchy and female is it to just go, this? Really? To another man? For me to do that, this really to another man, I have to be like in person, but even this really, I would say, dude, really? If we're about to like get into a fight, or if he was like actually mad at me, like, dude, really? But on the internet, this? Really? I can't believe he's showing this DM.
You know what his response was? Why don't you elaborate instead of approaching me like an emotional woman?
Yeah! Instead of going like, it's just like with Lauren Southern. We can't read your mind, Spoon. We can't read your mind. So what is your issue? Do you know what your issue is? It is emotional. This, really? Imagine if your girlfriend or wife said that. This, really? And you go, what? What a man does is go, hey, this is my opinion about what you're doing. Is that your intention? Or like, it's not just like, really? Really? You tell me that's not effeminate? You're really going to do that? Oh, real nice. Yes, that's emotional and effeminate. And then we have effeminate troon chaser, Eddie Eddie Murphy. God, excellent.
Instead of approaching you like an emotional woman. Touch a nerve there, did I? Who the fuck pissed in your Cheerios? I would be nicer about...
See, it's just like James Lindsay. He doesn't understand it's very catty and bitchy, and men can pick up on that. And since you're not a woman, you're a man, it's very weird that you're doing that. This? Really? Okay, so I can feel that you're judging me, but you're not saying what it is because you're a fucking coward. I'm already getting mad.
all of this, but considering that response, now you can fuck off. I didn't spurk, I just answered his question. I said to him, never mind the Epstein files, engaging in yet another Middle Eastern war, higher energy costs. You know, it's actually quite simple.
There's going to be a variety of opinions. Now, there's one opinion. So I essentially mainly agree with Spoon's opinion of what's going on. I mainly agree with that. There's going to be a variety of opinions. And in order for you to convince people, Spoon, to your position, you would want to know what the series of arguments are on their side. I told you, I'm trying to help him out.
Did he address any of that? No. He said, do you understand that I asked a question on the post clearly designed to garner engagement? Yeah, thanks for admitting that.
Yes, he's a man, so he's like, yes, I'm garnering engagement. It's a part of his job is to get engagement. He's a content creator. He's an influencer. Yes! Oh, he's admitting it. The Eurocucks have this weird thing where like they can't try to be successful on the internet. They're like too good for it. It's fucking weird.
Suppose I clearly couldn't tell. And get a read on what people think about it. I'll explain why that's clearly bullshit in a moment. I've never stated a position and you're...
Right, he didn't even state a position of his own, but you are assuming he's saying... Do you see the mind reading that has to happen? And then when you have to mind read Spoon. Because he goes, this? Really? And then you're like, what? Do you have an issue with what I said? I didn't say an issue with what you said. You didn't say anything!
You're coming into my DMs as if I've taken some egregious stance. You have. That's what women do. Shocked it came from you.
He took an egregious stance by asking an open-ended question.
Now you will notice at no point did he actually engage with anything I said, which is rather sus.
Classic Spoon move.
Simply focused on how I approached him, which is ironically incredibly feminine. Insulted me, and yet I was gracious enough to answer his question regardless of his snide emotional reply. So far it's going great, isn't it? So I explained to him.
Why is he leaking these DMs in a video? Like, I'll comb through my Verillium DMs in like a stream, but like, I don't know, if you're making an edited video, I mean, that's usually on a focused topic, not just something you're riffing on. DPK, $2, you're doing the good work, Ardy. Thank you. Also, fellas, and this is before the other person even knows about it. I live close to a fella who will actually go to liturgy with me. We'll actually go to liturgy together. We're going to have to continue that conversation off stream. Fellas, can I get some hands that heal in chat? Nuji, rocking everywhere! For $10. Thank you so much. He is catty because despite his ethnic claims, he is British, and much like seasoning, they don't believe in emotions. So smugness is his only culturally valid method for emotional processing. Kind of like a fucking sassy female, don't you think? Don't you think that's kind of like a fucking sassy female? All they have is just a bitchy fucking attitude, and you're like, what is your problem? I don't have a problem. Here, I'm going to make a video about how much of a problem I don't have.
Look at the post. Why do you think they changed their tune? If you happen to be somewhat clued into politics, the kind of people who would see that post on their timeline, and you have an IQ over, say, 95, which I will assume includes all of...
I love it when he invokes IQ. I love it. It really, you have to understand, a lot of low IQ people will invoke IQ to make themselves feel special. Also, one of my favorite points is that the British stole spices to not use them. That's just a classic. That one gets me every time. How do you come back from that?
My own audience and damn near everyone watching this very video. You'd be able to answer that question without even watching the clip, considering it's written right there on the preview of the fucking video.
Again, anyone who spots this will think either this is really low IQ engagement bait or you're a fucking idiot.
I don't think I trust Spoon as the barometer of what people normally think.
And following it up with be as honest as possible, you must be taking the piss. And that's my generous interpretation.
Do you see how indignant he is? He writes scripts, by the way. He wrote all of this down just to performatively express it. He wrote all of this down to then express it performatively of like, tell me to be honest. Oh, I'll show you. Just get to the fucking point, you broad.
Here I was ready to bullshit, but then he told me to be as honest as possible. Oh, you've rumbled me. Saying be as honest as possible to such a bloody obvious question makes you look shady. It looks like you're implying the people in the clip are dishonest, thereby also implying that you too have a stance in their
Mind you, he didn't watch the video.
Position.
He just messaged another. He didn't even watch the video. He just DM'd another man. Really? Like, really, dude? And then the dude said he's acting like a female, and then he made a video about it. That's where we are with Spoon content in 2026.
Now, there's 35 replies on that post, and he replies to 3 of them. One idiot here suggesting it's views, money, even foreign influence, considering
he's now tracking which posts Jake Rattlesnake did and didn't respond to. Do you see how this is real life for Lauren Southern and Spoon?
The current administration, the irony of that claim is fucking painful, and Jake naturally doesn't push back at all. Another idiot here saying they're just ignorant on politics. Again, Alex Jones being there is just conveniently...
Yes, he's asking questions as if Spoon responds deeply to what people... I just covered it. And now he's getting pissy that Jake Rattlesnake isn't answering everyone's fucking questions on the internet. Ooh, he's such a woman, and he's gonna be a good little fucking Spoon and take everything I'm saying to him, and he's just gonna sit there and fucking take it like a fucking good boy. That's why I like making Spoon videos. He's a punching bag. That's all he's good for at this point.
Ignored. Some are paid for by foreign actors. Again, irony painful, and Jake once again no pushback. By the way, this excuse is cheap shit stupid. If a whole bunch of people are switching for the same reason regardless of political knowledge, clearly political ignorance is not a factor. One person here pushes back, saying Jake doesn't pay attention to Alex Jones because he was on the forefront calling all this.
Oh, is this what somebody else said, Spoon? You fucking loser. This is his video. This is what his videos have turned into. It's just like the Lauren Southern video, dude. Oh my God. Can you believe Daniel on X said this and Jake keeps asking questions?
Out. Now, what does Jake do? Completely loses his shit, saying, what the fuck are you talking about?
Right. That's Jake Rattlesnake taking a shit, responding on X is losing his shit. Making an entire video about it. Very calm and composed.
How do you arrive at that from me asking a question? Pretty easily, actually, the same way that I did. Unfollow then. I don't want retarded, useless it's following me. Pray tell, how does him calling you out on your ignorance of Alex Jones's position make him the retarded one here? If me DMing you this really is emotional, what the hell do you call that? By the way, he blocked the conversation after.
Everything is tu quoque. Everything is no you. Everything. If he's criticizing America and we go, okay, we understand you're criticizing America, but like if you were like an Ethiopian or a Nigerian, we would go, what the fuck, what your fucking country, right? South Africa, who gives a fuck about what you're fucking saying? Well, that's pivoting. We're talking about America right now, and we're never talking about South Africa.
I explain all of this to him, which begs the question, why the fuck did you ask me to elaborate then, you girly-assed wanker? Shameless snakes these people are. Well, I mean, it isn't his name after all. I suppose I should have seen that one coming. Now, one of the people who responded to this was Rachel Wilson, saying, I think it's very simple. They lick their finger and hold...
Is he just trying to, like, burn bridges for no reason? Why make a video about this? What is your reason? His alliterated video content creators Cove of Copium.
Hold it above their head to see which way the wind is blowing. If they think it will be good for business to turn against Trump now that he's over a year into his last term, that's what they're going to do. I think it's a business decision. I would say the only exception would be Alex. I think if this Iran conflict turns out well for Trump, that Alex will be honest about it. Now, To say this wasn't exactly warmly received is quite the understatement, and I'm happy to report.
And so he's getting off in this video that he disagreed with her, and so he enjoyed seeing other people disagree with her because he can't make up his own mind or his own opinions.
The vast majority of people replying to this gave her a righteous kicking, which is good. She thoroughly deserves it. Now, let me point something out here. I'm not saying that with any trace of malice, right? You see, here's a skinny.
Okay. No malice. Just getting off on it, sure.
The vast majority of people are simply plebs. The bigger you get, the larger the audience will be comprised of nodding yes men. That is simply a mathematical reality.
Yeah, let Spoon tell you about engagement, okay?
There will be a few, however, that deem it fit to criticize you, but you would be wise to recognize not all criticism comes from a place of malice. Some are doing it because they care. If they see you getting complacent or you're slacking, they'll give you a kicking. And you should pay attention, especially if a whole bunch of them are saying the same thing.
Oh!
I tried talking to Rachel.
Oh, really, Spoon? If a lot of people are telling you the same thing, you should listen? Is this baby's first day on the internet, you think, dude?
About this. The conversation wasn't a particularly fruitful one, if I'm being honest, and I ended up looking at the replies after the conversation. Theme in the criticism was pretty consistent. Hell, one of them said pretty much the same thing I did, almost word for word, actually. You can't be serious, not you guys too. What dimension are we in anymore? Trump is not above criticism. Stop making excuses for this nonsense. This makes no sense. They were backing him when Trump was most hated and most unpopular, with all odds against him winning first term. But now they just decided to drop him and risk being...
You're halfway through the video, and he is still reading the fucking comments, dude. It's most of this video is other people's opinions.
Being hated by the base, because that's where the wind is blowing. So you're saying they changed their principles and not Trump. Very odd take. You're smarter than this. Where would the line be delineating business decision versus I have new information and have adjusted my position accordingly? Donald J. Trump has fumbled Epstein, Israel, immigration, and war like comically badly. That has cost him all the swing voters and now a chunk of the red team. Why is the exception Alex? You're conceding that there is a problem though, right? Alex can point it out and he's going to be honest, but everyone that was formerly hardcore MAGA and were let down are not honest. That's actually a pretty good one. I don't believe that you actually believe this. Some people can just be against the war, the exact war Trump said he wouldn't do. That one especially sounded a lot like mine. I straight up told her I don't believe you believe this, and I found her position to be dishonest. Mainly because her reasoning makes no sense. She says it's a business decision. Okay, let's say that's true. What business are these people in? Political commentary. We live, unfortunately, in democracies. Again, we the people, all that bullshit. If the job of business is to curate the largest audience possible, of course they'll go where the wind is blowing. The point that Rachel fails to elaborate on is why is the wind blowing that way, especially if it relies on an audience comprised of voters. And she knows why the wind is blowing that way because she inferred so by saying, if this Iran conflict turns out well for Trump, suggesting it currently is not, and she knows this. If Trump was doing well, going against him would not only be a piss-poor business decision, but you'd look stupid and dishonest for doing so, especially if he is doing what you said you want him to do. If he was doing badly and you're still supporting him, especially if what you supported him for he's no longer doing or is in fact doing the opposite of that, people will think you're unprincipled.
Oh, unprincipled. See, he understands realpolitik, okay? If they do what you don't want, then you just... Isn't that democracy? What, do you just vote for the other guy? Is that what real politics is? You just... If the party is doing something you don't like, and you don't really have really another option except for that party, which is a feature, not a bug, but do you really politically not understand still supporting the lesser of two evils? Do you not understand that? Now, I know fellas that maybe don't have kids, right? Don't care what happens in this country, and you're going to go in the ground and be worm food, okay? This is why, as an atheist, you can still have a natalist position and advocate for something after you're going to be dead, right? So, it's considered to be an accelerationist perspective because I'm principled. I'm accelerating based on principle. That's French Revolution shit. Then what do? Even if you do your bullshit violence in the streets, then what do? That's the issue. Now, if you had something better, then it would be different. But that's really all we hear.
A sycophant, or most likely paid off. If Trump has become so unpopular and people are abandoning MAGA in spades, then switching is not only a rational...
Now, I also understand this completely. I'd rather abstain and let the cards fall where they may. I understand that, right? I understand that. What I don't understand is incentivizing people to vote for Democrat or telling people to not vote for Republicans begrudgingly. If you don't want to, you don't fucking want to. But telling us to align with the Democrats is fucking insane to me.
business decision, but also an imperative if you believe in democracy and you actually want to win. That is the reality of this gig. This is politics 101 over here. That is why she got the kicking, citing Alex as the exception, with people asking her, why is that the case? If she simply came out and said something along the lines of, say, I don't think this will turn into another forever war, but I understand many people feel that it will. This is one broken campaign promise too far, and these commentators are appealing to them. That would have been absolutely fine. But to say this is all a purely business-driven switch, especially when, again, the reasons for the switch is on the fucking video, I find this line of reasoning, frankly, intellectually lazy, to say the least. Then I saw this other one. Now, I won't go through all of this, because, frankly, it's too lengthy, and this video is far too long already, but anyway, I'll be brutally honest. If someone sent...
Don't you love it? This video is far too long. Like, why even say that? He's always like, oh, this is going on for too long. Do you have a lot to say? Oh my fucking God. Look at this. Let's get into it. Never mind. Go ahead.
This to me, I would immediately make fun of them and tell them that's some schizo cope. Thinking Trump is destroying the liberal Bush New World Order? By doing what? Replicating his foreign policy. One favored by Lindsey Graham, psychopathically cheered on by the likes of Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro. Really? Trump's version of the Monroe Doctrine, wanting lasting American energy dominance. Well, let's see. Pissing off NATO, good. Taking military gear from the Asias, getting all your bases in the Gulf leveled by Iranian missiles, losing control of the Strait of Hormuz, deploying an impotent blockade, showing American military might to be largely an impotent paper tiger, all the while depleting munitions to achieve all of this. Yeah, good luck with that. But what do I mean by schizo cope? If you've been following this disastrous foreign policy blunder America's been embarking on, and continues to embark on for some reason, you will notice the regime didn't exactly set out with clearly defined, achievable military goals, and that's putting it mildly. It's been all over the shop, switching on a play-by-play basis, all very vague. And this vagueness has allowed an array of people to fill that vagueness gap with all kinds of crazy coping shit to justify why they still support this bollocks, ranging from energy to nukes to enrichment, containing China, everything to a...
Yes, in a two-party democracy, okay, when people know that they can't vote for Democrats and they don't want Democrats to be back in office, they are going to cope, and they are going to try to find compelling reasons to support their only other option. Yes. Do you understand that? Do you understand the human psychology behind that?
Avoid the giant elephant in the room. This is pure wish casting. There's no connection with the reality in any of this, hence the schizo cope. At least come up with cope that is somewhat related to what is actually happening instead of trying to justify the strategy, which is what
it's reality.
And maybe this is just me, but there's something odd about this particular post. I mean, look at the length. Just over 300 words, and yet it starts off with, nobody has to take my opinion.
Just over 300 words? Did he fucking count the words on Rachel Wilson's post? He's not mad. He's just calmly did that.
Seriously. Chaps, if during one of my videos I said, I am just a lowly shitposter, don't take what I'm about to say too seriously, I know for a fact most of my audience would go, oh boy, Spoon's about to say some wild shit. That preface to me said...
This is what women do. He keeps thinking of what other people on the internet are thinking. I bet they think this about me. I bet when I say this, they're going to be like, oh, here comes a heater from Spoon. Yeah, that's what everyone's thinking.
Feel free to take the piss out of what I'm about to say. Because if you write all of that, get pushback, and engage with said pushback, people are going to think you actually meant that shit. I'm not buying this. That preface to me comes off like a cop-out.
No one's buying your anti-American shit when you can never defend South Africa or the UK, Spoon, just so you know.
If I'm wrong, well, first time for everything, I suppose. But anyway, then lastly, of course, Razor Fist. By the way, something I've noticed around him, Europeans have been a lot faster in calling out his two-faced bullshittery. I imagine basic bitch homosexual insults like Eurotrash and Europause probably helps with that, as does years of ragging on John McCain and then suddenly adopting his foreign policy. But anyway, he put up a post replying about Tucker, who said America has to share power with China because of their scale. Which is true. Just because you acknowledge the reality of power doesn't mean you favor it. A concept many people...
Right. Just because people understand the reality of the two-party system doesn't mean they favor it, Spoon.
...seem unable to wrap their empty skulls around. And again, Razor also has a particular hate boner for China because he's spiritually a boomer. He's mentally still stuck in the 1980s and communism lives rent-free in his fucking head. Against the foreign policy. Saying this isn't organic. What the hell are you talking about, you git? Again, it's the reality of power. So when I replied to this...
Can you believe this guy on the internet said this? Oh, stop the press and make a video.
...saying war isn't popular, naturally, of course, he took a swing at my monarchy position. I say this in charity... Do you fuck? If you're a monarchist, an advocate of right to rule, especially...
Uh-oh, his precious monarchy is being attacked. So he spent this entire time... It would be nice. Oh, by the way, look at... He got probably almost a little ratioed here. He probably had a lot of disagreements that he's not going to deal with. How funny is that? Razor Fist, 18,000 views, 21 comments. Spoon, less than 4,000 views, 40 comments. Interesting. You like that math, Spoon?
...those the people insist on, and I was perhaps mistakenly under the impression you were. How do you rationalize...
This is a great question. What is Spoon's video even about? To answer that, you would have to learn about the lunar cycles and shedding uterine lining.
...opposing the reascendance of the rightful popular monarch of Iran. You mean the offspring of the one previously installed via the CIA and was ousted through revolution? Yeah, I hear coups are all the rage these days. Popular according to who exactly, and how the hell would you know? Whose claim to the throne, far from the false assertions of only dating back to the 1950s, can in fact be traced back to the pre-Islamic Achaemenid period. Does a nebulous version to Israel really supervene that? And if it does, can you even consider that a principle? Before I get going through this pile of bollocks...
Just get to it, you fucking female. Oh my god. Before I tell you my answer, I just have to let you know how I feel. I have to preface it with so many things. I'm not English, I'm South African, don't you know? Yes.
Let's get the most important point out of the way here, shall we? Nebulous aversion? I'd hardly call it a nebulous one. It's pretty much ironclad.
He's fucking nitpicking over every single little word. Like a man. Like a little man. Like a little man with a little weenie. Like a little man with a little weenie that's the size of a clit. Like a woman. Like a woman, actually.
And may I just add, his audience on X are thick as pig shit. Saying, oh, now the monarchist is appealing to democracy. No shit, genius. You're asking my opinion, you fucking moron.
See how mad he is?
I legitimately despise...
See how mad he is as soon as someone Wasn't that a criticism of him in a comment earlier? Do you have to be so condescending and get so angry when somebody disagrees with you? Ah, it's incredible.
These people. My reply was simply, just because I favor monarchy doesn't mean I favor that monarch, especially seeing as I don't live there. Fairly cut and dry.
I like how communists don't favor that communism. Oh, okay. That's convenient.
Would have thought in much the same way if you favor representative democracy, it doesn't mean you favor every representative. Stop me if this is frame breaking, by the way. Especially when he's installed by some Western powers. True, the monarch is supposed to be sovereign. This one would not be. He'd be a Western stooge.
Supposed to be. Interesting. Spoon. The country was supposed to favor white people. Are we doing supposed now?
Same as the previous one. If you can't be installed through purely your own pissed and stew.
This performative voice really makes me want to fucking TOS, dude.
Same as the previous one.
He has to act angry.
If you can't be installed through purely your own people, then fuck off. And may I just remind his sycophant lemmings, Razor himself said this exact same thing almost a year ago, as well as him claiming for years Iran is the only war he would support, even though less than a year ago he was claiming he's repeatedly opposed a war with Iran.
And then he took time to dig through his posts on the internet to make his video. It's incredible. The Gray Slayer, $5, thank you. Fellows, please don't let Spoon turn you against the entire island, please. That's the fatherland. Well, that's what we got. That's why me and Fist are such a good duo. It's because he's pro-America, but I'm not like, when am I ever anti-Europe or like fuck the UK? I'm like, no, that like fucking sucks what's going on over there. It's people like Spoon, the fucking BLM strategy that want people to fucking bring back lynching Brits. TNR FNV, $10, thank you. Put this 10 spot in the donation plate when you make it to liturgy. Is there a donation plate? You didn't tell me I had to pay to pray. You didn't say it was pay to pray. Byzantium Big Boss, $5. To his credit, that's a good point when it comes to Iran. The whole dang Middle East is a UK-US project. Yes, that is a good point. It never feels, just like a leftist, though, or James Lindsay, it never feels good making concession to this man, but that is true. Thank you very much, fellas.
Newsflash for you idiots, he lies. You can see it right there. But he even replied to Aiden on this. My opposition to monarchy is in a wholly American context. This country was founded as a repudiation of monarchy. No, it wasn't.
Wait a minute. Bobby B, my potential liturgy partner, by the way. There are always donations during church services. That's how, at least in part, they pay their bills. I can't believe that. I can't believe they would construct a building and then rely on the goodwill of people to give them to give them donations like that. Sounds like a scam. I can't believe they allow that. Thank you.
Rebellion was against the English Parliament, not the Crown. Think about it. No taxation without representation. Who the hell is representation in a monarchy? You're not citizens, you're subjects. On a side note, far as I'm aware, there's been only one instance of an English monarch opposing the will of Parliament in well over 300 years. I never claimed to oppose monarchy in every country on earth. Well, that's funny. I've never claimed to support every country being monarchical.
This is like listening to a child tell you about an argument at school. He's been downgraded from girlfriend to child.
So why the hell is your stupid ass applying a stand that I've never advocated for either? Maybe, if you don't know the positions of the people you're trying to criticize, shut your noise hole. Some can and do have them, and there is nothing wrong with that, provided they are not tyrannical. Man, the levels of irony considering who he's advocating Iran reinstall is just delicious. And consider it a principle? Are you insane? I want you all to pause and examine the sheer stupidity of this particular post. You're sitting there on your ass in the United States, questioning my principles, a South African who happens to be a monarchist.
The indignance. Did he cross state lines? Did he cross country lines to have this opinion, Spoon? You're in the United States. I am a South African. What the fuck? What is that point? It's all obfuscation like a fucking clam.
Because I do not favor imposing my ideal form of government, by a foreign power no less, on a country I wasn't born in, never lived in, never visited, on a people, and whose history I have no connection to. Maybe it's because I'm not some arrogant armchair shithead who thinks he knows what's best for a country thousands of miles away.
Yeah, right. Right. Doesn't know what's best for a country thousands of miles away. Okay, right.
This kid claims to have spoken to countless Iranians within Iran who wants to restore the Shah. So freaking what? There's plenty of people in your own country who want Trump shot or in jail. It doesn't mean wank. The country has over 90 million people. Who the hell do you think you are? Newsflash for you, Junior. Talking to some dancing diaspora bimbo isn't going to change jack shit.
Got him.
And keep in mind, the Shah was installed via a Western-backed CIA-led coup in 1953.
I'll have you know.
1953. Assuming they were born during the start of his reign, you'd have to speak to people at least 70.
You weren't even alive.
3 years old. There is no way in hell this one is talking to someone who was even alive during the reign of the Shah.
Nailed him.
Calling Iran an Islamo-communist, say, oh, just shut up. And trying to appeal to lineage. That's how you know this man knows nothing about politics. How is that a viable political formula for present-day Islamic Iran? Either amongst the ruled or the ruling class. You don't even live there.
Did he just do the Douglas Murray, have you been? Did he do that? I don't think I heard that correctly. You haven't even been there. So, what, lineage has nothing to do with politics in the Middle East? Is a monarch saying that lineage has nothing to do with politics? I'm not here. No, let's bring it back a little bit. I'm not hearing that right.
Who was even alive during the reign of the Shah. Calling Iran an Islamo-communist, say, oh, just shut up. And trying to appeal to lineage. That's how you know this man knows nothing about politics. How is that a viable political formula for present-day Islamic Iran? Either amongst the ruled or the ruling class. You don't even live there. That's like asking me to advocate for monarchy in France because I spoke to some French influencers who claim to know the descendants of King Louis and they favor restoring the House of Bourbon.
Do you see the LARPing? The only reason why he's monarchist is because he can still be right-wing and an independent. That's the only way that he uses it. Like that, you, above everybody else, Spoon, would understand the matrimony of lineage and politics with a monarchy.
What an insufferable pillock, seriously. Screw it, I can't handle any more of this bollocks. Cheers for watching, and once again, I apologize for nothing.
Oh my God, he's doing it again. He's quoting himself like James Lindsay. Oh no. Oh God, that hurts. I just had to read. I didn't have to. I chose to read for my Lauren Southern video, private DMs between Lauren Southern and Destiny. That was cringy. We're beyond spin at this point. But as the saying goes, the show must go on. The aristocratic utensil. Wow. You sound like a drunk, wet-brained fucking pussy, Ardy. Wow. Quoted myself in that. We did it! We got through the content! But now I am curious. Well, I do have you guys here. What are some... See, I want like a... If I do a Jared Taylor debate, it's not really a debate, you know? One of them fiery internet debates. But he has... But I don't want it to be against like an annoying lefty. I guess I want it to be like... It would be someone on the right. Am I really going to do a fucking leftist debating a race realist? Is that going to be enjoyable for anybody? Let me just try this.
Are right here in the.
Let me just take a swig at this.
Based on some
Let's see how it goes.
linguistic, identity. So
Because
who cares?
the cultures are not able to combine. I'm not saying that all cultures
they
that
are,
all
but-
cultures can mix together. All cultures cannot mix together. What I'm talking about is a singular culture that can mix together. And there has to be some type of glue that allows that. For instance, you can make a good case that there's an ethnos in Europe.
Yeah, what's difficult with the just genetic argument is what is your belief system, and they really focus on the genetics, but not the belief system.
And I would agree with you that there's a European ethnos.
Oh, this is good. Race realism is difficult on YouTube. Sure. But there's got to be some stuff on there. But you understand the kind of debate I'm going for, right? It doesn't have to be Andrew Wilson. But then at the same time, how many people on the right are debating race realism, right? Do I have to have a debate with somebody? Oh, I don't want to say that out loud. Then it might happen.
But you can't make an ethnos argument for the United States of America because inside the United States of America, we started as an English colony. And now most of the whites inside of the United States, 1/3 of all of the Germans in the world are right here in the United States. It's no longer the same ethnos it even started as. There is no
So
ethnos.
what? I mean, you have Switzerland that has Italians and Germans and French.
Excellent. So this will be covered with me and Fist with the European, or I guess really England perspective on race, heritage, and lineage versus the American perspective on it. This does need to be clarified. So if you're going to invoke a European identity, it should include some English input as to, they've been around for longer, what they consider to be heritage and whatnot. I feel like it needs to be in that cocktail kind of.
French mixed in together, right?
But what's the ethnos?
You have it's European.
It's
European.
Swedish.
What's the ethnos? It's European. And then this is the issue that white Americans, and I mean, Eric Arvalos carved out this position very well, where it's like, I'm a white American. And that is true, right? But I'm trying to advocate for this, fellas, okay? I'm trying to normalize dissonant opinions. In order for me to do that, I have to understand them. And it's going to be weird for a little bit. We're just allowed to talk about pro-white, white Americans, okay? It hasn't even been, 2 years where, like, publicly we could actually talk about it, not in the shadows. So I really want to iron out these conversations.
European is an identity.
Fist is Australian, but he's been living in the UK for a whole while.
Okay.
No.
Sir, name any stretch of 500 years where Europe was at peace in the past. Give it to me.
I don't care if they were at peace in the past. It's like
That's
it's like,
your
So that's a bad argument that whites fought with each other. Terrible argument.
you're saying the European thing is the glue,
I'll be fair in these debates, fellas.
but the glue seems to be
Christianity,
much
I
like
just
water because
pointed
they
out
fight
to
each
you.
other all the time. We need to get
Christians
past
kill
this.
each
We need
other.
to
Yeah,
figure
so
out what
do
the glue is.
Well, let him talk.
Christianity's not a glue either. So you're telling
I think Christianity is more of a glue than race, as we've seen.
me we
Yes,
can't
it is.
we can't form a racial bond based on being European because you say we fought in the past. So what? We
Well-
get over those fights and we form a united
You
front.
can
It's like
form it as an identity.
Interesting. We don't really talk to each other. Debate Undead Chronic on the viability of surrogacy for single men as a means of returning to above replacement reproduction rate. Sounds like he's already thought of that position. It sounds like it's a new position to me.
Just like you Christians claim you're going to get together despite Protestants, Catholics, evangelicals. You have all these different denominations.
Now, this is a fair response. So if you're going to pin different types of European identity against one another, it is very fair play to go, I believe he's an atheist as well. I believe a lot of the race realists are pagans and atheists, which I just think that's interesting content because these conversations don't fucking happen. And they have to fucking happen so we can still hate each other but be on the same fucking team, for the love of God. So, well, that's a good point. Well, what about all the Christian denominations? So how unifying is it? Okay, fair.
You hate each other and you call each other heretics and you want to kill each other and behead each other.
Okay. And we'll do one more from that, one I could find. See, that's more of an interesting one. If it's just Jared Taylor talking to a lefty or... Yeah, it can't be talking to a leftist. Do you really want me to... No. Yeah, dude. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not taking the misogynist position and then steel manning a fucking leftist. I'm not doing it. My channel is my baby, and I would never do that to my child.
Birth rate policy, it has to be racial. If it's not racial, it's pointless.
Well, that's an immoral policy.
It's totally.
Well, so this is great. By Zanti and Big Boss. I just don't get what Andrew wishes us to be. Loosely appealing to Christian nationalism doesn't bode well considering Prots would stop Orthodox processions. You see? Hello Listener got some fucking killers in his audience. Right. Now that does get a little more into denomination and who has the power, which is why I support Joel Webbin, as cringe as he may be, going to the America First United Conference. There needs to be a JQ Protestant. That has to happen. You can't have the Catholics lecture the Protestants, okay? You need a JQ Protestant. When I say Christianity, I mean muscular Christianity. When I say muscular Christianity, I mean JQ Christianity, all right? You have to be able to criticize the moves in your Christianity. Now, I do believe the answer is ortho. However, that's small. Is it growing? Sure. But why are we leaving people out? If you're a JQ Catholic, a JQ Protestant, now Protestants, a lot of work to be done, so I'm glad that Joel Webbin is at least taking the JQ position as a Protestant.
Totally pointless. You're just going to
It's an
incentivize
immoral
non-white
policy.
births over white births. You still have feminism. You still have to deal with the fact that women are choosing careers over family. And how do you deal with that?
Okay,
Right.
so let me pose a moral dilemma for you. White kids drowning, black kids drowning, you can save one, right? Which one do you save?
Now, you can tell this from a while ago because people's voices are higher pitched. Fellas, which one do you do? You can save a black kid or you can save a white kid. I mean, this is a dilemma, isn't it?
White kid.
We got white kid, all right? White because I'm white. Yep.
Why?
Why is that? You see how fun this content could be? I would like a nice solid like hour or two of this. I would do a long stream on something like this because I haven't heard these conversations.
Because he's part of my tribe. I have more affinity for him than the black kid.
So what you just specified is that you're an extraordinarily immoral human being.
Oh shit, fellas! War in the chat. He's trying to cause a race war. It's hell yeah, I owe you that. I owe you that. That's a very fair point. My hands are tied. There's nothing I can do right now. It is actually very complicated.
It's actually really complicated. No, it fucking isn't at all.
Okay.
No, what would you choose?
I would choose whoever was closest, or I would try to save both. I would do whatever I could possibly do in that situation.
What if you couldn't save both? It just had to be one of them.
It wouldn't matter to me.
You just
a life is a life. I'm not going to distinguish on a child's life based on their skin color. It's absurd. And that
Oh baby, you see how fun of a stream that would be. Ah, let me just take a peek. I can't peek at. Let me just peek at the chat. We got own family member. Very nice. Yes. So obviously specifying the question like that. Oh, saving both is an option. Yep. Accusation of dirty debate tactic. Sure. Absolutely. Am I here? Or am I here? I think I'm here. Blue Lick, $10. Thank you. No worry, I will not judge England based on spoon. If I was using the opinion of one person to judge a whole nation as a Canadian, I'd be thoroughly done for. Hey! Kind of like a Zamboni, eh? Did I read this one? To his credit, that's a good point when it comes to Iran, the whole... Yes, I think I did. I can't remember. I don't know how people do this for so long. Nuji, rocket everywhere. $5, thank you. Spoon is the South African equivalent of a plastic body. Oh, a plastic body, a plastic patty. I'm sorry. Oh, I'm getting all race brained right now, fellas. It really is my favorite topic. It's a shame that I don't get to talk about it as much as I want to. Leningrad, $5. Whoa, no way, dude. Is that a quote by the alcoholic utensil himself? Asher Genesius, $10, thank you. I would like to take this time to point out, in order to cherry pick the things Razor said about Iran that support his argument, he had to ignore the literal decade of posts and videos that refute it. Dude, it is so one-sided. And then, so when you try to argue with him in the comments, you get nothing. And then when you get something, it is so unbelievably emotional, indignant. I can't believe you would say this to me. I just can't believe it.
It's moral on its foundations.
Okay, well, what if the...
Oh, this I agree with. That there specifically, the point of a hypothetical is to engage within its terms. Andrew is being mooish here. Yeah, he switched it up on him there, definitely.
Child, one was
Martinez, you're missing the whole point of the hypothetical. The whole point of the hypothetical.
Hang on, let me finish.
Anyway, fellas, we have a fella in need right now, okay? Do you think I asked to be in the position to have more live streamers, more chatters, more viewers than Rob Noor? No. No, I didn't ask to be in this position, but here I am. And so now we're going to dial this down. I'm going to send you over to Robbie Boy. Let me just see what's going on in the chat. What? Is someone calling metalcore lame? It's all I had. It's all I had as a kid. The fella in need is Rob Noor because he is actually supporting a family with his streaming, okay? But that's the thing with the Andrew Wilson. So the crux of the issue seems to be either race first or God first, right? That's really the epistemology I'm trying to get down to. It's either race first or God first. Now, people are going to say he's doing a bit stream. What the hell's a bit stream? Sick fuck. What the fuck's that mean? I don't give a shit. Oh, he's storytelling. I don't give a shit what he's doing. That's the great thing. Is the people in the Crucible orbit, I have never really had to walk back on supporting them. I haven't. And I've made videos on people in that orbit for years now. But it comes down to race first or God first. Okay? Now, there's people that are going to be race first and that are never going to be God first, and vice versa. Okay? I want to bridge that gap. Okay? And it's going to take having it out. If Joel Webbin can have on Calvin Robinson, who's a Catholic, that shit all over Protestantism, we got to do that with the God first versus race first fellas, is all I'm saying. Okay? Now, sure, I don't know, man. That's why I want to see these debates first. But there's like older debates. Do you see this conversation? It's not even like a current fucking conversation. It's from fucking years ago. Andrew Wilson sounds like fucking Destiny in this fucking debate. His voice is so squeaky and high. There's not a lot of current dialogue going on around this. And this was back in the day on fucking YouTube. So, I mean, I think it needs to be happening a little more. And I might have to do that. Fellas, thank you for hanging out. I'm going to be sending you to Rob Noor, who actually has a child, who's actually a proper natalist. And here's the thing. Get this. Andrew Wilson selected him to work with him. And Rob Noor isn't really even Christian. And his wife is. You want to talk about acceptance, fellas. He also has a difficult time accepting the Lord. Isn't that fascinating? But Andrew Wilson had his back. I made a video on it. Had his back in a way that I fucking cannot help but respect. So, fellas, you are going to Rob Noor. Have a fantastic night. And remember, there's nothing more important than race. God is secondary to race. My name is Ardy, and that's my real, honest, true opinion. And you can clip that and show everybody. I'm a race realist. I've been hiding this about myself the entire time. I'm now out of the closet. I'm a race realist. God doesn't exist. Only race exists. Go to liturgy. Have a good night.